I told you, Emma went to college and took her off the fucking insurance policy for driving. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
This is what we need.
She's an 18-year-old girl.
Yeah.
If she takes somebody's car but for 2 seconds again, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is when you need this the most.
I'm gonna put her back on the weekends when she comes home. I was like, all right, good luck with that. Fucking, I was beyond livid. And she's like, oh, I'm sure take the insurance off her car. I told him, like, then it invalidates the registration.
Yeah.
In Mass,
girl.
If she takes somebody's car for null and void. Seconds again, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
When you need
what is this? It doesn't matter. You can't fucking do it.
Yes.
Just stop it.
My
You're
parents
saving that much money.
My parents,
by the way.
All right.
when I went to college, my parents were like, "Yeah, you're on your own now." So.
Thanks for the heads up.
Hope
she's not listening.
Dick.
Although
I've only been full fucking the computer for 20 minutes.
it's nothing I haven't said to her anyway already. So
Just like that? You said it just like that?
pretty much.
All right. We'll see, won't we? Oh, that was great.
Tim Connor's in the chat.
Careful, Tim. I'll show it to you.
Do you hear that?
What are we listening to?
I hear that.
Hold on.
It's a very important something.
All right.
Oh, it's the news website I have listed. Yeah, this should go. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
Just look at it.
These lights seem brighter today.
Tim, if you leave, I'm going to be so mad at you.
Like what?
Please build cool shit while you're listening.
Yeah, like what cool shit could he be like? What? Like what?
He must not have speakers in his garage.
Yeah.
I think they have a
Archaic.
TV in there.
Prop your phone up on the toolbox.
I mean, just fuck.
You got a
yeah.
TV in there, Tim.
I think
There's
he has
literally a
TV in
guy
there.
at my work that when he listens to music, he's listening to YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
No, that's insane.
Well, that's why we do this. Because
No, I know
who wants
why
to
we
watch
do
us
this.
sitting at a table?
A
'Cause
lot
it's
of
for
people.
people like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But what?
what? They're just music videos. Like,
We're
what-
just sitting at a table.
No, I understand that. That's a whole nother thing. The audience has their own fucking
I'm
problems
just
with
saying,
their
I'm not
requests.
dancing for anybody. So
Yeah.
let's just put that out there.
And I'm just like, I walked up to him today. I snuck up on him, and I'm like, pretty cool video, huh? He's like, oh. He's like, what the? He's like, yeah, I said, I don't even care. I'm just like, I don't understand what you're fucking doing here. There's Spotify. There's Pandora. Like, why are you wasting your battery in the video you're not going to watch? That's what it is. That's what
free.
Yeah, for music, I can't do the ads on YouTube. That's why
Spotify's not that bad.
Yeah,
Just get
Spotify's good. It's
LimeWire
cheap.
like we all did in the 90s.
I mean, I have Amazon Music,
Bring back LimeWire.
and I don't have any ads, but it wasn't working the other day at the gym, so I put on Spotify, and
Worked perfect.
yeah, but it's still like the ads are so far in between. Like I was like, oh shit, an ad. I mean,
But
that's
the
crazy.
problem with that is you can't listen to, like, I want to listen to this album from the first song to the last song. If you don't pay for it, you can't do that.
Yeah, I can do that on Amazon.
There
though.
are too
Like,
many
I don't-
albums I would do that for. So
Yeah,
I could definitely take it in
I get on an album kick.
shuffle mode. I
Yeah.
have been there, yes.
Yeah.
But in general,
I want to hear how the artist intended to
Oh,
compose the album.
No, you don't.
I need the transitions between the
Flow.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's a
important.
reason that song 2 was before song 3,
Exactly.
and I might notice it.
Are you fucking serious?
Colin gets it.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. He gets it. I asked you if you're.
You're
fucking
Are you
talking
ready
about-
to do your thing?
You're talking about the bands where we actually know the people. The bigger bands,
No,
some
I don't
AR
think he
guy
is.
decides.
Are you talking about the people you know?
Yeah.
You sound ridiculous.
Okay. Are you doing the video, or are you just taking the logo off?
Just hit the
Hit
fucking
the fucking button.
What difference does it make what I fucking do? You have one job. Remember to hit the button. God forbid.
Hello, hello. I'm John Stairs. You're listening to Topics Under the Stairs. As always, I'm joined by Ryan and Mark.
Hello there.
How we doing?
Tonight we have a very special guest. My longtime friend Collin Stankard is in the studio with us.
Thank you for having me.
Collin is a great guy, into a lot of cool stuff. But one thing in particular said to me the other night when we were speaking, we should talk about this. And it was Collin learning to fly.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll talk about other stuff too, but I'm excited to learn about how you got into it, what made you interested in it.
I have many questions.
It sounds absolutely terrifying to me.
Yeah, throw them at me.
Yeah. So we're gonna unpack that whole thing pretty soon, and we're gonna talk about Collin learning to fly. I know you've taken at least one solo flight, right?
Yes, multiple, many.
Multiple now,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah. So Collin's done some solo flights, and you're doing flight lessons just over a year, probably, right?
Yep, just over a year. I started in technically it was August of 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So just over a year now. So we're gonna learn all about how that process goes, what it looks like, if you're interested in doing it, and all the thoughts that went through his head, and much more. So before we get rolling, this episode is brought to you by Revival Motoring and the Revival Motoring Network. Check out revivalmotoring.com for all the updates on all the shows. Us here at Topics Under the Stairs, our friends at Luce's Fast and Revival Motoring. Huge thanks to our friends at Cardinal Creative Agency for making the beautiful website. And if you want to go to the web store, there's a bunch of cool merch on there. You might have missed out on the Halloween merch, but there's going to be a new drop coming up soon for the holidays. Maybe there'll be a Black Friday special. I don't know. Let's get crazy. Mark's just texting away. Maybe you know what? Mark's actually pulling up the website right now.
Yeah. That's what
Mark's
I'm doing.
pulling up the website so he can go
You're
order
doing your
himself a
shit.
shirt.
I'm doing my shit.
right now.
Suddenly you care about what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah, check out revivalmotoring.com. If you want to find the info on the shows, it's all there. You can stream the episodes. You can find the YouTube channels for each show. Whatever you want to find. And whatever you do listen on, please subscribe on that network, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you can leave a review, do that. That all helps. If you listen to an episode, share it on your stories. Tell a friend about it. If you listen to a specific episode that you think somebody might be into, sometimes that'll help us get a new listener, and we appreciate all of that organic growth. If you want to help more, we have a thing called Bucks for the Boys.
Bucks are the boys!
As you know, or you don't know, it costs money to do this. The hosting space costs money. The roof that's over our head costs money. The equipment costs money. And we don't hide behind a paywall. You can listen and watch all of this stuff for free between all the shows. And
That said, help us build a paywall.
yeah, if you want to help us keep doing this, we need some crowdfunding. And the people that do subscribe, we thank you very much. It's a sustainable donation, a couple bucks a month, and you get automatically entered in a contest to win. And
Fun
actually,
fact, this month's winner was in the group chat.
he was
when
in
won.
the chat. Yeah,
Yep.
he was in the chat live on Revival. So they pulled out on Revival the first Wednesday of the month. I'll give you a little behind the scenes action here. I've been working with Josh to pull in some new perks for members. So there's going to be some new perks on the way for members. Maybe some coupon codes for vendors, or maybe some special giveaways from other brands. Maybe a brand that we recently talked about on Topics Under the Stairs.
Oh.
What is that?
Who's on
Paul
the eggnog?
Paul Topfuel.
I don't know who that is, but he's on the eggnog.
Yeah,
Paul McGraw?
That's Paul
Does he change
McGraw,
his
but
name?
yeah,
Is that really his thing?
that's.
I don't know, I'm
I
asking.
feel like that's
Did he
his
change
picture.
It? Did he change it? What is
It's
with
gotta be
everyone
him.
changing their goddamn fucking names? What is that?
I found out my daughter has 3 other Instagram accounts under different names with
This
like
is-
2 followers. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
Watch
I'm
closely.
getting on that. Yeah.
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 I don't know what's going on here. Someone else has done it too.
Oh, it was Al.
Yeah,
Oh,
Al's
Al
got,
does it every week.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
His excuse was every device he has a different login. He has a
Yeah,
TV
well,
login.
That's psychopathic
That's crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
There's no
Just
need.
log into the same account on everything.
Literally, I have the same password for everything. If you learn my password, you own me.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, and none of it says Ryan. It's
I
just
never- no.
VW Hathaway on
I
everything.
didn't do shit.
Yeah, I didn't do shit. I didn't do fucking shit.
Well, no one believes you now. Whoever you may be.
I love eggnog. Eggnog does not love me.
Really? You like eggnog?
I
I
do
love
like
it.
Do you?
eggnog.
You
Yeah.
too? You?
Yeah.
No, right?
I'm with you on
I
that
can
one.
have like a sip and I'm done.
Paul,
Not
if
it- I
that-
don't need to add rum. I don't need to add alcohol to any type of fucking dairy product.
No.
by
You
the
need
way.
to add alcohol to everything. You
No,
add
I
alcohol
love
to
it.
breakfast
Dairy,
cereal,
not
you
dairy.
fucking liar.
I
Not
agree
dairy.
because I love eggnog and I do not put alcohol in it.
Yeah, no, not dairy. No, I have a thing about dairy drinks and alcohol. Like I'm just like I feel like
You
it's just
wouldn't-
curdling immediately.
My-
A White Russian.
Have you seen what fucking like you just pour alcohol in on ice?
But a White
and
Russian,
it just
though?
like
Yes.
crushes it.
This goes to my aunt Cindy, who we coined. She lived as long as she did because she was pickled. She smoked 2 to 3 packs of Marlboros a day
yes.
for 60 years,
Yeah.
and drank.
Maybe she had an excuse for all of them, though.
Well, hang on. She was pickled. Go on.
We would get her handles of whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
By like for Christmas, she gets 7 or 8 handles of whiskey.
That's a lot.
She weighed 80 pounds.
Yeah.
And her drink of choice was a 16-ounce juice glass with ice and whiskey, and then she would just pour milk on top
Nice.
every day.
Big
She
shots
had
to Aunt
several of
Cindy.
those a day. She did pass away a couple of years ago.
Do you just not worry about the time these kind folks have on their hands? Like now that we know exactly who this is.
Yeah.
Had to go change it. Log
Yeah,
out.
and there's some cigarettes that don't count. She might have had an excuse for each one. I mean, drunk cigs don't count. Like a cigarette if you had a bad day doesn't count. Wedding cigs don't count.
How do you?
There's certain cigs
How
that
do you
just
write
don't
off
count.
30 a day? How do you do that?
I don't make the rules, Ryan.
I'm just saying.
That's a pack and a half.
I don't make
I
the
thought that
rules.
was 3 packs.
30? No, it's 20 in a pack.
Oh, so then it was 60 a day.
Unless Virginia Slims or something
No,
can
no,
fit
they
more.
were like Marlboro Gold or whatever they were.
Yeah.
That's one thing in Europe
Hey,
I
if you're
really
gonna-
like. They got the skinny ones and
if
they
you're
sell
gonna
them in
do it
10
right,
packs.
you smoke Marlboro. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I like American Spirits, the blue ones.
Oh, you're fucking ridiculous.
That's my favorite.
God. So you like trash? That's fine. I
And-
smoke garbage.
For
Awesome.
all you smokers out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Italy, you get the little skinny ones, the 10 packs.
Yeah.
Those are
With
good.
the
10
Virginia,
packs.
Virginia Slims.
But they make Marlboros and skinnies. Yeah. Little skinnies
My
in 10
dad's
packs.
mother would smoke. I don't even know what she smoked, but my uncle had to get him out in like North Carolina where he lived. And then
Virginia Slims 130s. Have somebody in the next room over light it
he
for
would
you.
he would ship
Someone
it to
down
her.
the street had to light the campfire.
And then when
Yeah.
she passed away, he was like, "Oh my god, I fucking killed her." Then he felt bad, like
It's
you
all my
didn't,
fault.
like as if he didn't know.
I was gonna say you just realized what you were doing. I'm a green.
What does that mean?
Menthol, baby. That's what
Oh,
he's talking
that's
about.
terrible. Oh my god.
Cassie likes the crushes.
If you need flavor, you just don't really care to smoke that much. That's how I feel.
Cassie likes the crush because she's
What do you mean
into
the crush?
Camel Crush. You decide.
Oh, the
Is
pack.
it menthol today? I don't know. Has a little ball in,
Oh, is
in
it-
the filter.
Oh, wait, what?
You've never had one of those?
I've had
It's
camels.
it's
but I used to smoke
it's
Camel
called a
Lives.
Camel Crush, and it's a regular
it up.
cigarette, and
Look
then
it
you
up.
squeeze it.
No, stop it.
I'm
Look it
telling
up.
you the
Yeah, I
truth.
know what you're telling me. I don't believe you. That's why I'm telling you to look it up. It's pretty
Okay.
clear what's happening here.
We're gonna start this episode eventually.
We'll get to
I
you at
swear.
some point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good time. He's
Yeah.
fine. He's fine. He's not worried.
We got a
at all.
long way to go before we get to you.
Yeah.
Teaching the kids about cigarettes here.
That's right.
Yeah, we got to teach
Yeah,
the kids
yeah,
about
Educate the
cigarettes.
youth.
Yep.
Own the option. Yeah, you
Own the option.
squeeze, click, change the flavor. Yeah, there's a little ball in there, and when you squeeze it, it turns it into a menthol cigarette. You really didn't know about
No,
this?
I didn't smoke menthols.
These aren't menthols unless you want them to be.
Clearly, if God forbid I got into a car accident in the middle of smoking, and that changed
You bit
everything.
down.
I bit down, and then now I'm fucking just choking on menthol.
What do you think's in that ball there? Look at that ad. It says
Right?
campaign
It's all-
for tobacco-free
So
kids.
I feel,
I'm pretty sure it's asbestos.
I feel,
yeah.
I feel like
Mercury.
you chew on that ball, you have one shot.
This is what they did with all the mercury from the thermometers back.
Yeah, now it's in the Camel Crush balls.
Yeah, this is why our grandparents lived so long. They had lead pipes and asbestos. And
Dude, nothing could kill those fuckers. They lived to their hundreds.
I just
We're gonna
googled
die in our
Camel
50s.
Crush ball. That's the ball that's inside of a Camel Crush.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's it.
What if you
Wow,
put
no,
a
I
bunch
did
of
not-
those in and then bit them all at the same time?
I did not know this. This
Yeah.
is like those gummy bear, like the gummy sharks and shit. The gushes. The fucking.
gushes.
I was thinking more like the
Fruit
bat,
snacks.
the bat
Episode's getting
salts that make
flagged.
people zombies.
This episode's getting like-
There's no way it's gonna get flagged.
We're
Oh,
teaching.
we
We're
were
teaching
flagged an hour
underage.
ago, Rick.
Yeah, drunk cigs don't count. Everybody knows that.
Man.
Bad day at work cigs don't count. Wedding cigs don't count. Funeral cigs don't count. There's a few more.
I don't.
I'm gonna start applying this to alcohol.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
right,
Same,
yeah.
same
Sad
principle.
drinking
Yeah.
doesn't count.
that's
Happy
good,
drinking
yeah.
doesn't
I
count.
can't even.
Yeah.
I can't even entertain a fucking cigarette anymore.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible. The last ice fishing trip, I didn't smoke one cigarette. Normally I buy a pack. I share it with everyone. I have a good time. Nope. Cigars and fucking weed and fucking
His
alcohol.
bachelor party. I was so milking mad at you.
Did I smoke cigarettes there?
Yeah,
I'm
a
sure I
lot.
did.
You did
Yeah,
a
that
lot of
checks out.
smoking that
That
week.
checks out. Yeah, for sure. You were mad at me?
My dad had just died. And I was just like, really?
Yeah, I didn't put anything into consideration.
Yeah. He hadn't smoked in years, but that's what killed him. Like,
That's true. That's true.
you even said it to me. You're like, I'm sorry, dude.
Did I? Oh my god.
That's how drunk you were.
I was literally drunk.
Me plus
Yeah,
Cassie
fucking-
plus Camel Crush equals lifelong memory. That's a core memory. That is a core memory.
Shouts
For
to my
sure.
wife
Oh,
there.
it's aggressive, trashy, or what?
That's my
Oh,
wife.
okay,
Yep,
perfect.
yep.
Hi.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone should know Colin's wife.
Alice.
Alice and Colin's wedding spun Cassie out into like a 2-week long bender, unintentionally. We just had like 2 weddings in a row, and it's like that wedding. Cassie had a lot of fun, and it was a great time. And then we had another wedding like 2 weeks later, and she had a lot of fun again.
Continued
And
the
I'm
party.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, this
I
is the
witnessed this time.
craziest Cassie's been in
Yeah, I said,
the
holy
entire
shit.
time we've been together. She was just
She have a little,
turned up to 11.
She just like unlocked the door she had closed years ago. Is that what happened? Or
Oh yeah. Colin and Alice's wedding unlocked the door.
yeah.
And she left it open for like a month.
What kind of cigarettes are you guys smoking?
Camel Crushes that night.
Oh, it was? Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the picture I showed you. They
I didn't know
drunk
what it
cigs.
was.
Yeah.
I didn't zoom in.
Yep. I got the picture.
No, I believe it. Yeah. No, I know you
It's a
did.
good picture.
All right. I
But
guess.
yeah, so where are we going with this?
I
don't know.
Revival
yeah.
Motoring. Go to
Revival-
revivalmotoring.com.
Give us
Listen
money
to
or
the
something.
shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to Revival Motoring.
Donate to
Pick up
B
your
for B.
Camel Crushes.
Pick up Camel Crushes. Now everybody knows what Camel Crush
We're
is.
not gonna make any money from that, but apparently it's
Yeah,
a PSA.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You guys got any callbacks?
I got a bunch of little things.
Callbacks? No, I don't really. No.
I'm gonna start with the toy drive.
Toy Drive. What's the date?
Sunday the 23rd, November 23rd, from
November
9 to 3,
23rd.
right here at the Revival Motoring
101
headquarters
Dexter
slash-
Road, East Providence.
Correct, / KD Designs headquarters.
Yeah, just Google KD Designs. You'll find it.
New unwrapped toys for our toy drive, which has been very successful for many, many years. A lot of people help out and donate their time and donate their, I'll call it property, but or people donate the trucks to hold the toys, and then we'll volunteer their time to deliver them, and which is a bigger undertaking than it sounds like. Like, ever tried to move?
I will donate a truck. I've said this.
We will talk. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm dead
definitely.
serious.
We do have people that are lined up usually, and if that
Yeah.
fall, I will let you know. I appreciate that.
Yep.
But yeah, to get the toys literally from the truck to the school and then deliver them is no small undertaking.
Yeah.
You know, you got like 12 or 1,400 toys to fucking drag into a school, and they usually have volunteers, and it works out. But there's a healthy amount of people that need to help to do that as well. But yeah, if you cannot make it to the event on the day of, I know KD always takes toys at the shop anytime, and he'll put them in the pile.
Or like
and,
Venmo donations, PayPal
Yep, so-
donations.
So the Venmos are at KD Designs RI or at the Wits Newport, which is the WHITS NPT.
As I said last week, if you're on the South Shore, hit me up and you can bring the toys.
Yeah, just hit up the show page.
Yeah,
and
and
we'll
we
make it
will all
work.
help out.
To my
We're
warehouse.
all over the area,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll definitely.
We're here every week.
Yeah.
So
If you
we
want to
can,
donate, we will get the toys
get
where
it
they
to 'em.
where
Yep.
they need to be. So just get in touch with any of us, and we will help out. But yeah, that's it. So Sunday, 11/23, 9 to 3.
Perfect. That'll be a good day.
Great day.
Looking forward to it. It's usually snacks.
Yeah, we usually get pizza, and,
Pizzas.
like hang out. Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be ice cold again like it was last year.
I feel like every year's ice cold.
I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
fucking cold now. so-
Yeah, we definitely had some.
This
some
November has
cold
been
days.
colder than I think the last couple of years, is my opinion.
Just the first 2 days. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of warm leading up to this, but the wind's been brutal.
Cold weather cigs don't count.
Okay, John, we're off of that now.
His cig list, Jesus.
I know. So basically, just
like a-
smoke and blame
Just
it
to have
on
a cigarette,
something.
John, I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
hire a lawyer.
The only callback I have is puppy stuff is going good.
Exhausting.
Yeah, the puppy's like 13 weeks old. He's doing great. Getting along good with the other dogs. Cassie's doing fantastic with the training. He's doing all sorts of things. He does like 1/3 of them for me, all of them for Cassie.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not trainers, John.
Yeah, he does spin and paw and
Yeah.
lay down, and he'll sit for me once in a while.
He does it with the cutest face I've ever seen. Like that is
Yeah.
the fucking cutest dog I've ever
He's a
seen.
cute dog.
Cat has been training Axel do bang.
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 And drop dead.
Oh, that's
Drop
what.
dead.
Oh, that's what Dakota does that.
Yeah, it's a
See,
slow
she does.
death with him.
She does
Slow
stick
death.
him up.
He does
Yeah,
the Jim
it's
Carrey.
like we gotta, we gotta like pump like a couple bullets in him, and then he's like,
He's like every bad action movie star. I'm not going down with just
Yeah.
one. You're gonna have to
it's
put
a
a couple
slow
more.
death. It's a slow death.
I heard they're outlawing assault rifles in Massachusetts. So he's,
Get it in now.
I don't know how good it's gonna work after that. Yeah, no, Dakota does stick him up, but she doesn't. She doesn't.
Stick him up.
Yeah, like when you point a gun at her, she goes like this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll send you a video when I get
Yeah,
home.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, she does.
That's
she does
awesome.
sit and then she just stick them up.
Oh, that's cool.
But Cassie never taught her what happens when she gets shot, which is fucked
Yeah,
up.
she
That's
doesn't
what-
want.
yeah.
She doesn't want to be sad. You
Yeah.
know, stick him up or you.
Yeah, no, she just does stick them up. So I'll send you a video. Yep. So now this episode is definitely not getting monetized.
Oh yeah.
Just
Well, fuck it. Let's keep
just
going.
brought puppy love.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the puppy's doing good. What else besides that? Halloween was sick. We have like 8 trick-or-treaters, the same 8 we have every year. But Cassie and I set up a projector in the garage, and we pass out Jello shots to all the parents in the neighborhood.
Nice.
And it's just a fun night.
The parents are like, you sure you don't want to go to that house? Are you sure?
Yeah.
We want to go to that house.
No, like we usually have like
Give me
Craig,
a bag.
Craig and our nieces stopped over, and sometimes Anthony and Sarah stopped by. But they had they actually had a wedding that night, which is
On
cool-
Halloween?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it was a Friday, so it was like a perfect year to get married in Halloween. So, but yeah, no, it was a good holiday weekend in general. We took the dogs for a nice long hike through Pratt Farm, little local spot in town, like conservation land. So, dude, the ticks right now though.
Yeah, I saw that.
All of our dogs are on tick medication, and we must have pulled 25 ticks off the dogs
That's terrible.
in one day. It was fucking crazy. It's just this time
Do
of
you,
year,
what do you
they're-
use for tick protection? What do you use?
So we use this stuff called Simbartica Trio. It's the heartworm pill, but
Yeah.
it does flea and tick stuff too. I've tried the collars; those work fine. I've tried the drops; those work fine. It's more so just with so many dogs, having an all-in-one solution is nice.
Yeah,
And knock on wood, it's worked.
pills are huge, right?
Yeah, they're big pills and they're chewable. But and they eat them. They don't mind them. They think it's like a treat.
My dogs are a bitch.
And if they get bit, I think the ticks just die. That's the thing. It's like
That's
it doesn't.
the deal, yeah.
The ticks aren't necessarily repelled like they are with a collar, but if they bite them, they croak. So does the job.
Yeah, perfect.
But we check them anyway. I don't want the ticks in my bed or something, so we check them before they even go in the house. But yeah, we're on the drive home, and Cass like, "Oh, I found a tick on Wesley." He's like, "Oh." 5 minutes like, "Oh, I found another one. She's just humming these things out the window. Like, what the fuck, man?
Fuck, man.
But yeah, it's this time of year. I think they know it's getting cold, and it's like better latch on to something, fill up before winter.
Well, so no, they die in a frost, right?
I don't know, do they?
It's also
I
deer,
feel like ticks
deer season
live
too,
forever.
right?
yeah, it's
So I
deer,
figured
and it's deer
made it
tick.
to- yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, the tiny ones.
yeah.
So,
Those are fucking those are shitty.
but yeah, that's all I got.
I got a few things. So callbacks. Our boys from Euclid dropped a new song.
Yeah, Devil's Tongue. That song rips.
It does.
It is a certified ripper.
It was I saw Maddie's page and
Sorry.
who we calling? We call him Matt.
Yeah, no, I was trying to pull it up. I was pulling it up.
And yeah, so they dropped a new song and they say they got like 2 more coming this year or 1 more.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
Yeah,
for
they got a
this
show
year,
coming
so-
up at the Palladium.
Nice. So yeah, the song sounds awesome.
Start talking.
Yeah, song rips. Yep. I really want to go see them. The last couple times they've played near us, it just hasn't worked out. But they do have a show coming up at the Palladium. Let me pull up their exact social media so I don't say it wrong. And the new Shape Thrower song is great too. Cigarettes for You. Speaking of, that's the name of the song. Yeah, it's Euclid Official. It's EUCLID, Euclid Official. But the other thing that's a good thing to plug here is we have a playlist on Spotify called Topics Under the Stairs, previous guest playlist, or guests of Topics Under the Stairs or something. If you just search Topics Under the Stairs, it's the second thing that comes up under the show, and Euclid's on there. So all these new songs are on there. I try to update it periodically.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. So the boys are killing it.
Yep.
Andrew is back taking drum lessons from Ethan.
Excellent.
He's on break from tour right now for like a month. So he called and was like, hey, if he wants to do a couple of lessons, I'll be around, whatever. So on Mondays, he's been going over it. And it's so funny because he hasn't really taken a lesson from him in a good year because he went on tour last year after like.
Who's he part of? Like,
so he's been in several bands. He was in a band called Strange Kids. He was in another band. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he's in a new band called TX2. And this band is gaining traction. They just got...
what's their genre?
It's like heavy emo.
Okay.
So it's not like scream metal.
Oh, good.
Although he plays
I can understand
drums
what they're saying.
to all of that. But it's a heavier... emo style. When John comes back, you can pull something up. But I'm just gonna look it up quick. But they just get invited. Like while Andrew was at drum lessons on Monday, he got a text from his bandmate that they were just invited to play this huge rock festival. Is it Download? They got invited to play Download Fest. So he's going to be going off on tour again at some point. But yeah, so he's been over there for a couple of lessons and enjoying himself because he hasn't taken one in a year or so, and Andrew's gotten better by himself just playing. And so he's like, I don't want to take lessons. Like, what are you telling? I know what I'm doing. I was like, you don't know what you're doing. You're a fucking clown. Get over there and fucking let the kids teach you shit.
When I was playing guitar when I was younger, I got to that point where we're like, I can play a couple songs. I don't need lessons anymore. And man, do I regret that because what you absorb when you're like 10 or 12 or 15 is so different than what I
said to him was,
I don't even know if I can read anymore.
I was
when
like,
you're young, you can just learn everything.
You can hit the drums. Let him teach you how to learn how to play a song.
Yeah.
Because like he'll listen to a song and he'll get it, but I know, he knows and I know he's getting it like 60%, 70%.
And it's not so much learning the song; it's learning
how to learn a song.
Exactly
is really what he's starting to do now.
I was listening to an interview yesterday, actually. Do you guys know Billy Strings?
Yeah.
Billy Strings is like a super talented bluegrass guitar player.
Yeah, he picks like really fast.
The guy he's like one of the best guitar players in the world, probably. He takes lessons.
Of course.
He takes lessons from a jazz guy because it's like a different technique than he normally plays.
And that's the thing. It's like you have to learn.
And he's like, I've written songs based on these scales that I learned from this jazz teacher. Like you can't, like nobody, like there's masters at things, but it's like with an instrument, you're a master of a part of it. Like very few people are a master of every aspect of an instrument. And it's like you put 10,000 hours in, but it's like if you put 10,000 hours in as a bluegrass guitarist or as a jazz guitarist, you can't be great at everything.
Right.
So it's cool to hear people like that who people think like, oh, Billy Strings is like one of the best guitarists in the world. Like, oh no, he takes lessons every week, every single week. Mm-hmm. And the dude that gives him lessons doesn't give a shit that he's Billy Strings.
Right, because that guy does different thing, and he's better at that than this guy.
Yeah. Yep. So there's definitely a major benefit to being humble and learning, being willing to learn.
So whatever. So he's been doing that and having a blast with it. And I don't know if it's just because we've been on a music kick, but the new Lorna Shore song. Have you heard this yet?
I haven't.
So there's a video. It's kind of
you guys saw them recently, right?
No, we haven't seen them.
Oh, okay. I was thinking they played that show with Dying Wish that you went to recently.
No, that was Spirit Box.
Oh, Spirit Box. That was the headliner there.
I forget who the third band was. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I was jealous of that. I love Dying Wish. I wanted to go to that show.
So good.
So Lorna Shore, I don't know if it's a brand new song or whatever, but there's like a video up. The guy's like he's getting like rained blood on or whatever. But the song itself, I don't know how any human can kick a bass drum that fucking fast ever. It's
well, Andrew must be able to. He knows everything. Right?
No, yeah, well, yeah. I was fucking blown away.
I don't understand how they have the stamina to play a whole show.
Dude,
Yeah.
the breakdown on this song is fucking insanity.
Yeah. Playing like a half an hour straight at
Oh
that
my
speed
God.
is just unbelievable.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot to it.
But anyway, that was my music update for the
Yeah.
week.
I'm kind of getting into the season where I'm going to go see some bands now. I
know.
skip everything in the summer because it's like I'm going to car shows and stuff, and you only have so much free time, so that's what I prioritize. But when it's not like car show season, it's like, all right, I'm going to go see a bunch of bands.
I did go see the boys early in the summer and at that Fall River show, Held Captive. And
Yeah.
everybody showing from Riverbed, their band was there.
Yeah,
like a bunch
that's
of other cool songs.
our friend Ross from Hellbent Booking.
Yep. That was a great show and a great venue.
I love that venue.
There was like 6 bands that played that night. It was sick.
Yeah, I don't know if he announced like a dozen in a row, and it's I know he had stuff through November. I think there might be a November show, but I'm hoping he releases some next year stuff soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Ross from Cooked Alive. Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna pull up if you had any more shows going on.
I don't have any information for the shows. I was waiting for that, but the callback as I did. Andrew and I went to a Patriots game on Sunday.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Oh, it was so much fun.
I mean, the game was great.
The game was fantastic. He was like electric. He absorbed the stadium energy and was having the greatest time. So
yeah,
that was part of his Christmas present this year. But it was
awesome.
Good time. I ended up hooking up with a buddy of mine who I used to go to Patriots games with him when at the old stadium.
Yeah,
and he says
you mean when they were affordable?
He says season tickets for like 25 years.
Yeah,
and he's been working his way down and getting better seats and better seats. So he's in
shit.
A1. His parking spots are right there.
Nice.
So we parked in fucking Gen Pop and walked to him and hung out there for a couple hours. We were talking about food before and like eating random shit. You eat more random shit at a tailgate.
Oh yeah.
We hit his spot at 9:30 in the morning, and the sausages were just getting finished. He had sausage and peppers with hot relish. It was fucking delicious. And then we started the hamburgers. We had hamburgers, juice, whatever. And then I had brought sandwiches from the Portuguese bakery in Fall River. So then a half hour after we finished the hamburgers, we're eating fucking Italian subs. It was fantastic. What a great time.
I love food.
It was such a good time. And the game was ridiculous.
That's a great game.
It was. Can't wait to go back again next year. I said to him, was like, well, Mom's going to be pissed because we're spending money on tickets every year now.
That's good though. That's a good experience. Like that's better than like some fucking stupid thing wrapped in a box.
It is.
Right.
And it was one of those things. He's gotten super into football in the last year or two. And so he knows way more about the people and the teams and all that shit than I ever did. And so, letting him be able to see like that live. And we were up in the nosebleeds, but you could still see what was going
everything,
on.
though.
Yeah,
it's
a pretty good
good
see. We're on like the 30-yard line. So we get to see like the back and forth. We weren't like in the end zones where you're just like watching it like this, the long way. But it was a good time. And can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah. Hit the news?
Hit the news.
Yeah, let's run with it.
Breaking news.
Security camera caught a moose doing the most unexpected thing at an ATM.
Not bashing it.
Ran full speed into it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy collecting the money afterwards.
In
Good for him.
Montana. Yep. And shortly after, a dude ran up and took all the money. So
I mean, he didn't break the ATM.
no, the moose did it.
All he's doing is cleaning up litter at this point.
The
Mother
moose
Nature.
broke the law, really.
Yeah.
A
just happy
man
Mother
walking
Nature.
home stumbled upon a scene unusual, and security cameras picked him up, picking
I'm
up
kind of
all the
surprised
money.
the ATM's in still that good of shape after that thing fucking ran into it.
Yep, the startled pedestrian scooped up all the loose bills and disappeared into the darkness.
You go home, burn all those clothes, and never talk about it again.
Yeah, it's It's pretty wild. So thanks to Becker for sending us that story.
Oh, something. Yeah.
Yeah, Becker sends a lot of good stories.
Nice.
That was a recent one. So big shouts to Becker. That happened to Montana. I want to go to Montana bad.
You got
Montana
it.
sounds sick.
Got
You
it.
guys have been, right?
We've been. Yeah, we went
Yep.
June last year.
Yep.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, locals have dubbed the incident the most Montana heist ever. Yep. So
I feel like Montana's like Canada. Like everyone's just nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, why are you even
Except
mad?
for bears. Bears are not very nice out there.
There's bears in Montana. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you
They're
seen
the-
Yellowstone?
They're the scary kind of bears.
Oh yeah, I guess I wasn't really thinking about that. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, they're the ones you don't want to meet.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah, that's all I got for news. That's that one.
American teacher and his son are killed by swarm of hornets while ziplining
I
in,
saw that.
in Laos.
While
that was-
ziplining?
Yeah.
So they got stung over like 100 times.
Where was this?
Laos.
Laos.
Where the
said
fuck
Laos,
is that?
Laos.
South
Philippines.
Asia.
South Asia. So after they ended up passing away.
It was the murder hornets, though. Those big
yes,
fuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
They ended up passing away in the hospital. They were stung over 100
Yeah,
times.
the kid was like 15.
He was
It's awful.
15. The father was 47. He was 15. Yeah. Pretty fucking crazy. And they said it was like those Japanese hornets or whatever the fuck
The
it was.
big ones, the ones the size of my fist.
Yeah.
So they like bumped the nest and then
No, I think they
They
were
didn't
were
say-
ziplining through the woods.
Yeah.
And they may have just made him mad.
Just a gang of them. Yeah.
horrifying.
They were alive when they were conscious when they
Next
reached
to Vietnam,
when
John.
when they reached the end.
I don't know. Yeah, TD's like, you know what that is? Come on.
Did TD's change his name
Oh,
too?
he
Jesus
did. I didn't
Christ.
even
Yeah,
fucking
TD's
notice that.
TD's.
Bring
Bring me back to Nam.
Nam. What do you know about Nam? He's
I
younger
love
than,
the
isn't
smell
he
of
younger than us?
napalm in the morning.
Yeah. Stolen valor.
TD's
So-
in the Florida swamps. It's basically Nam.
Yeah, it's
The
basically
Nam
the
of
same
United
thing.
You know what?
States.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
They
You're
probably
not
have
wrong.
Asian murder hornets
You
there
do.
too.
It is the same. It's the same climate.
So
It's like Forrest Gump. One day it started raining and it didn't stop. Yeah. Instantly regrets that one, TD's.
You're already in Nam, buddy. You're already in Nam.
I love TDs.
He's so good.
The first time I was on, didn't John call him in? And I was talking shit.
One
to
of the
him,
first times.
talking shit to him about putting mayonnaise on fucking grilled cheese.
I wasn't there that day. That was
Oh,
the day
you
I
weren't
wasn't
there? Was that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
day?
yeah.
Was that the day?
That was the day you
Oh
were
my
introduced, and
God.
John goes, "We found our third, just so
Yeah.
you know." Perfect. Let's go.
I called this kid like a meth head and shit, and then he called and I said, "Well, clearly you're not a meth head because I'm talking to you now, so I'm gonna apologize for that." It's just because you were from Florida, and you know.
Yeah.
Vintage car graveyard in Western Germany, right? This is cool. So this guy found these cars at like auction. I forget, auction or something, and then bought them, and then just spread them around his yard. As like they look like they've been there for years. Pretty fucking cool. All different models. This one showing is a Cadillac. There's a picture. Yes, perfect. Pull up the photo.
Oh, that's sick.
Fucking crazy. So he basically this man made himself
Yeah.
after getting all the vehicles there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look
Pretty
at the-
cool, right?
The Citroens and the Fiats and the
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Cool.
Badass.
More cool that he said, "I'm getting all these cars and I'm just doing this.
Just
for
gonna
the fun-
stick them in the
for the
woods.
fun of it." Yeah, pretty
Mother
cool shit.
Fuck the man.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even
Oh,
like,
look at
really
that.
pay
I got like a
attention to that.
hairbrush shit on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's rad.
So cool stuff. That's my news.
I like it.
Yeah.
I have news that I'm not sure is actually true because I don't do any follow up, but I'm going to put it out there.
Okay.
All right. What is
A
it?
new California law requires booster seats for kids and teens ages 8 to 16.
That can't be real.
There's no way.
Starting January 1st, 2027. Hold on. Oh, God damn it. California will require kids 8 to 16 to pass
Ryan's news should just be called Topics
Oh, God
Under the
damn-
Stairs does fact checking.
Yeah. Basically, you have to pass an inspection to sit in the front seat.
Debunked. It's not real.
It's not real? Okay, perfect.
The new California law requires children 8 to 16 probably restrained, which no, the new law does not. The new law requires. All right, hang on. Keep going. Hold on.
I'm waiting for you.
Don't wait for me. You
All
fucking
right.
keep chatting. It's your news story.
Well,
You do your work.
The one that I found said They have to pass a test where they sit in the front seat, and if the lap belt doesn't sit correctly, they must be in a booster seat.
Children,
or they have to sit in the back.
Children aged 8 to 16 must use a booster seat if they cannot pass a 5-step safety
It's for
test.
midgets.
So
Let's just call it.
yeah, for short
Little
people.
people.
For short
Little people.
Little people, yeah.
Yep. The seatbelt must fit them properly. If
Little
the seatbelt
torsos,
does
big
not
hands.
fit them properly, they must use a booster seat. Yep. The new law is effective January 1st, 2027.
Yep.
They must be able to answer yes to all 5 questions. If they can't answer yes to all 5 questions, then they have to use a booster
Don't you
seat.
feel like it's going to be more of a physical test than meaning like being able to put
Well, yeah,
eyes on this
the
person?
questions are going to be,
Yeah.
are you 4
Yeah, you're going to
feet?
fucking lie.
Yeah,
You're going to
whatever.
lie.
Yeah,
Does it say what the questions are?
it doesn't say yet.
Oh, they don't even know.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, here they are. I found them.
Right in front of them.
Can the child sit with their back flat against the seat?
Their knees
Do
have to
their
bend at
knees
the end
bend
of the-
comfortably at the edge of the seat?
Yep.
Does the shoulder belt rest on the collarbone and not the neck? Is the lap belt low on the thighs and not on the stomach? Can the child remain in this position for the entire trip? That is the questions.
Number
So-
5 is hell no. Most
I
kids are
just,
not
I
gonna be
just
able to.
can't.
Yeah, I can't
just
remain in that
can't.
position for the trip.
I mean,
So yeah, if they can't answer yes to all those questions, they have to wear a booster seat or sit on a booster seat.
Imagine your 16-year-old kid getting dropped off at high school
In a booster.
in a booster seat.
Dude, imagine getting out of the booster, be like, "Yep, just got my first car."
Well, you've met Emma's friend Lily. She's 4'10".
She's 100% in the booster seat if she
Correct.
lived in California.
yeah. She drives a car with like
Was it
2
the next
pillows.
time she comes on the podcast, she's gonna have to be in a booster seat?
Well, I told you about them going out for the 18th birthday, right? So
Does she have a license? Did they give her a license?
Oh, she's been driving longer than Emma.
Does
She's
she have a
she's
booster
older than
seat
Emma.
for her license?
She has 2 pillows.
is this fucking real?
I am shitting you
I
down.
don't
She
doubt
drives
it.
a Saturn.
You guys
She has
just
2
gave me
pillows.
this information now?
Yeah. So the last girl of their girlfriend group who turned 18, she wanted to go to the clubs in Providence last year. So that was like the beginning of the summer. So they all go up there and whatever. And it was like hilarious to hear all the stories. But they're standing in line to get in some club. They never got in because the line was too fucking long. But while they were standing there, some asshole came up to her and looked at Lily and was like, "Oh my God, it's like a midget." Didn't go over well.
Which one was Lily?
The little blonde.
The short
Oh,
one.
the one.
She
like-
went to Europe with them. She was in the show a couple times when they came back from Europe.
Yeah, talking about Pyrexes and shit. The fucking fake and
maybe.
knockoff ones.
Oh yeah. Well, that was Colleen, I think.
Oh,
That's
it,
the one
yeah.
whose birthday it was.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Colin,
that's the one who like just
Lily's
set
their
herself
friend.
up to get shit on.
But yeah, no, Lily's Lily's a great person. She just happens to be short, you know.
Oh yeah,
Very small. All right,
very small.
Yeah.
we've said it all.
Yeah,
Let's
go.
move on.
Like, yeah,
Make a wrap.
it's wasting time here.
So, like I said, we have Colin with us.
Why
tonight.
would you fly?
Yeah.
That's my question.
So, when did you decide?
You wanted
let's-
to die. Yeah.
No, let's talk about from the beginning. When you were a kid, did you say like, when I grow up, I want to be a pilot?
So it's kind of funny how it came to be was because my parents were kind of the parents to be like, you're not allowed to have any video games and you have to play outside in the dirt. But you can go on the computer. So I would find games online to play on the computer, and our neighbor across the street had Flight Simulator on his computer.
Oh,
So when we would go over to the neighbor's house, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to play Flight Sim?" I'm like, "Sure." And I'd never done it before, and I was like, "This is really fun." And then it turned into me going over their house just to play on Flight Simulator. So then I asked my parents, I was like, "Can we get Flight Simulator here?" And they're like, "Okay, sure. You still have to be able to have a limited amount of time, play outside, whatever." So that was all I had, like, as a kid growing up for like video games.
That was your video
doing
game.
Flight Sim. So
And was it like the same flight simulator? You just played it over and over and over again?
over and over, like it was me.
It's not like it has like unlimited maps or something.
It was like
No.
Oregon Trail for us at school.
yeah. Yeah, like you're
It's the same route.
you're
Less
taking the
dysentery.
same
not
flight
again.
over and
Yeah.
over again. And like,
Less dysentery. Yeah, no, it was like I want to see what Boston looks like, or I want to fly over New York City.
So was it a realistic flight simulator? Or was it
Yeah.
more of a video game like
Yeah,
Top
it was
Gun
realistic.
kind of thing?
Yeah, it was realistic, and every couple years,
and you could fly over different locations. It
yeah.
wasn't like the same route.
No, yeah, it's like it's a world. It's like Earth.
That's cool.
But you can pick like where you want to take off and where you want to land. And so they came out with a newer flight simulator, and that was when I really, really got into it. And this was probably right around when I was in high school, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do career-wise yet at that point. So I thought about it. I was like, oh man, it'd be kind of cool to be a pilot. And I remember even back then, like I looked into like what it would take to become a pilot. And I remember it was very expensive. I was a broke high school kid, had no money. And I saw that the job was very stressful. It required being away from family and being away from home. I was like, I don't know. I like New England. I don't know if I could be away from home a lot, or if I have a family someday, I don't know if I'd want to be away from them.
Yeah, you don't want to live in a hotel.
Yeah, and to do that as my job, I have kind of the principle early on. This is when I kind of got into cars too. Is I didn't really want to do that as a job because I worried it was going to ruin the job or ruin it for me. So
yeah, if you enjoyed it, you didn't want to necessarily rely on it.
Yeah. So at that point, I got into cars, and so I'm like, well, all my money's going to go into cars. Like the flying thing maybe will happen someday. And when kind of fast forward, I went through school, did the car thing, still doing the car thing. When I met my now wife, I told her, I was like, someday I'd like to get into flying, but I just don't know if I can afford it now. Like with the car stuff, with everything else going on in our lives, like I don't really know. Like I want to do it, but
at this point, you had already owned a house, you had overhead, you had multiple car projects.
Yeah. Well, she saw it as, if you're going to do this thing, now is kind of the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we don't have kids. Like
she gifted you your first lesson, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So my birthday last year, I had told her in our town, there's an airport in our town in Nashua. And I had told her, I was like, yeah, because she had asked me when we were dating, she's like, oh, did you look at flight schools at all? I'm like, not really. She's like, well, why don't you look at some and see what's around, because we have the airport in town. So I did, and there was a couple at the airport in our town, and the first one that came up was like a local small business guy that he worked at like a bigger flight school and then decided to break off and do his own thing, and all the reviews are really good. And I was like, yeah, this one, it's called New England Aeronautics, big shouts in Nashua, and I showed her his website. I was like, yeah, this would probably be the one that I would want to do. And she's like, okay. And didn't really think anything of it. This was before my birthday. My birthday happens. She's like, I'm surprising you for your birthday, but you have to put on a blindfold and hop in the car, and I'm not telling you where we're going.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay. So, and maybe I'm like trying to guess. I'm like, all right, where?
I feel like you're pretty analytical. You must have hated that.
No, I was like, all right, what turn?
I can see it was like, all right, left turn.
Left,
so
exactly.
We're at the
left
Sleepy's,
turn. Yeah.
And then we're by Burger King, and then we're going up the road. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you like surprises in general?
I do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, we car stops, take off the blindfold, and it's the gate of the airport. And I was like, what are we doing here? She's
we
like,
can't be here.
Yeah, we're not allowed here. Yeah. No. So she's like, yeah, you're doing an intro flight with one of the instructors at New England Aeronautics. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. And I was like, are you coming with us? She's like, hell yeah, I'm coming with you. And she's like, I'm going to be in the back seat. Like, we're doing this thing together. And I'm like, oh, sick. So, so calls the flight instructor. His name's Nick. On the phone, he opens the gate for us. We go in, follow him in. And he kind of gives me the runaround. Like, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to do it as a career? No. Okay. Hobby. Okay, cool. Like, we have other students that are the same. Like, actually, surprisingly enough, he told me a lot of the students with that flight school are like high school age. A lot of them are very young.
Oh, wow.
And I think they went further than what I did, where they actually do want to do it as a career.
Sure, they thought they might want to do it for a career.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it basically started out as meet with Nick, kind of look at the airplane, and basically gives you kind of the full experience for this introductory flight, where you pre-flight the plane, you check fuel, check oil, go through a whole checklist before you take off, make sure everything's good. Then you hop in the seat. He's in the right seat, and then Alice is behind us in the back, just all giddy, hanging out, like watching.
And she's not afraid of heights, obviously.
No, which was amazing. She was all about it. I was like, you sure you're going to like this?
Dude, I don't like those small planes at all.
I had when I was younger, I did a summer camp, and I had gone up in a small plane once, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And I remember telling the pilot at the time, I was like, yeah, all I've done for flying is like the flight simulator stuff. And he's like, oh, that's great. He's like, you're pretty good. Like, you seem to know kind of your ways around things, and it was great. And now this was the time of flying for real. And so back then, as a kid, I feel like I didn't really recognize the real threat of danger with a plane.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just super awesome and fun, whatever. And so this time, we pre-flight the plane, go through the checklist, start it up. He has me with a placard, and he's like, all right, you're going to read out to air traffic control.
And now this plane is
It's
a single motor?
It's a single engine, piston engine, so it's called a Piper Cherokee.
Pull
So,
it up, John.
yeah, it's a 1975 Piper Cherokee.
75?
1975.
You're taking lessons in 2024? They don't have a
Hey.
fucking newer plane than
Hey.
this?
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, why are you so judgmental?
I'm just,
No.
it just seems crazy.
We could talk shit about your
I'm
fucking
from that
Volkswagen.
era.
Can we?
Relax. I'm still in good shape.
most
Piper what?
Piper Cherokee 140. So 1975 Piper Cherokee 140. Most planes that people have, whether it be flying clubs or like flight schools, most of them are usually 40 to 50 years old.
That old?
A lot of
Insane.
planes are usually very old.
So that's just the
I'm
average
just
age of
gonna
a
say,
plane. I just didn't
seems
know
like
that.
most of the newer planes are crashing and burning, so maybe we should stick to the older ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing
Feels
is,
like maybe they
Yeah.
were built better.
yeah, every single plane has very strict, like you have to go through an annual inspection every 100 hours. The plane has to get the engine has to get inspected,
And that's by the FAA or whatever.
Yep, they have all these requirements that you have to go through all these inspections. Propeller has to get inspected, airframe, power plant, everything, instruments, avion, everything has to get inspected. Being a flight school, they're even more strict, where they have the annual inspections, but then also the 100-hour inspections on top of the annual inspection. So it's very, very strict to make sure everything is safe, everything is kosher, that you're safe flying. Yep, that's it right there. So fixed landing gear, so I'm not dealing with anything retracting landing gear. It's a 4-seater technically, so you got 2 in the front and then kind of.
I love
two
how
in the back.
that had just put 160 horsepower on the side.
So it's crazy.
Fucking love that.
Most planes are usually sub 200 horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
So
Which you would not think that.
yeah, so the one that I fly,
You're not turning wheels.
yeah,
You got to remember that. You're not trying to break that friction plane.
yeah, you're just turning air. You're
Yeah.
pushing air along. So yeah, that's very similar. So my plane's a green and white plane, very similar to that one.
So you're just relying on that one propeller.
Yep, that's it. So, but if we get deeper, like the thing that's cool with these planes and that a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of redundancies to them. So
That's cool that the landing gear is fixed too. So when
Yeah.
you land, it's like
Easy.
the wheels are already down.
Yep,
You-
easy. Like
one
a
less
lot
thing
of,
to worry
A
about.
lot of accident. Yeah, exactly. One less thing that you have to remember to
Right, 'cause
do.
the airspeed in this has got to be.
Now,
like
you
90,
hear a lot of
maybe
people with small
less than
planes like
that.
this, Cessna. Do those have separate landing gear or are those fixed as well?
Fixed as well. So the cool thing, so the difference between this plane, the Pipers,
Yep.
and the Cessnas, those are the two pretty common planes.
Yeah.
Cessnas have the wings on the top of the plane.
Oh, okay.
Pipers have them below. So I like the low wing plane, the Pipers,
Yep.
because
I feel like that would feel more stable.
both are stable. Both are easy to fly. What's
Yeah.
nice about this is you can see above you. So if you're about to take
okay.
off, you can see if people are coming in. If there's a Cessna like about to take off, usually if they're about to take off, they'll kind of be off center so they can look. Oh, because their wing would be in the way if someone's
Yeah,
coming to
yeah,
land,
yeah.
so they know that they're not gonna hit anybody.
Okay, so that's an interesting comparison. So a Cessna is a comparable size plane to
Yep,
this.
they're about the same size. They have, I think, very similar engines too. So
Yep.
there are different engine manufacturers. The engines for these planes are really cool. They're very similar, believe it or not. They're basically like a big bore, air cooled flat 4, like you would with like a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, yeah.
So very similar to that.
So there's plans that you can buy a Volkswagen motor and cut it in half and weld a plate on the back and make a 2-cylinder, basically, airplane motor.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really
My
cool.
father always wanted to do it. I was like, no,
Yeah.
nope. You're not flying any planes.
Yeah.
You're not flying any Beetles.
Yeah.
The engines for these are like the cylinder bores. They're big bore, like low compression engines. They're all carbureted. So they have a mechanical fuel pump. They have an electric fuel pump. So there's a lot of redundant stuff there. They have 8 spark plugs. So if you have one bank fails, you can still run with the other bank. Has an alternator just like a car, flywheel just like a car, starter just like a car. All that's the same.
But essentially, all that shit could fail and it would still turn.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's cool is if your battery dies, the engine will still run because the battery in the plane just runs like the radios, the avionics, all the electronic stuff in the
And the
plane.
starter.
But the alternator and the starter, but the alternator, just like a car, if your battery's toast, the alternator will still charge and keep things going.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now, if your alternator dies, are you screwed like you are with a car?
no, so if the alternator dies, you can usually run off battery power for a little bit, but you have an ammeter that'll show you if it's
What's a
charging.
little bit?
So Like if the alternator dies,
It would be like I might have to do an emergency.
So I'll give you right
landing.
now. I'll give you an
Yeah.
example, and this isn't correlated. It's my thing. It's not charging the battery. I can drive the car for 4 hours.
that's impressive.
When I go to start the car, it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right.
But it will run as long as the motor is running, because the motor creates its own inertia and its own spark. The alternator is just not charging the battery.
Okay.
You only need the battery
I-
to restart the motor.
No, I understand that. So you're flying
So
a
the
plane.
same idea.
So how long?
I would say so. We try to practice like for emergency scenarios. If the alternator dies, I don't know the exact range, but you have enough that like if you're probably 10, 15 miles away, you can land safely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's enough of a buffer there. Usually where things would get dangerous is because they're carbureted engines. We have what will happen is called carb ice. So your engine will start to run rough because if it's 70 degrees on the ground, it's usually colder up in the air, and the air going through the carburetor is moving a lot faster than the air around it.
So like this time of year when it's 45 out
Yep.
or something.
It's fine now. If there's visible moisture outside, that's where it's a problem because
it'll freeze.
That'll freeze over. But if it's clear, planes actually love flying in the winter more because it's more
Is that
dense.
because the electric choke adjusts the lift differently? Is that the deal?
What's that?
The electric choke on the carb?
No.
Does
no.
it? Oh, okay.
No, so
That's
it's
only for when you start it.
yeah, that's just
Well,
for-
I
As
know,
soon as
but
it
I'm
warms
just-
up, that's
Yeah, you're good.
negated.
No, I
That-
usually know that. I was just asking
Yeah.
because I didn't know if it changed anything.
Yeah, planes love to fly in the wintertime. They climb a lot better. They pull a lot harder in the wintertime because the air is so dense. Versus it's like having a turbocharged car with an intercooler. Like
Yeah.
you're making the air more dense and better, more combustible.
Yep.
So planes are the same way. So flying on a really hot, humid day in the summer.
Yeah,
it's
heavy
gonna be-
air.
It's going to
You're
be
gonna
a
feel
dog
it.
trying to get up in the air.
Yep.
So whereas wintertime, you'll be up to wherever you want to get for altitude very, very quickly.
I know you've flown all the seasons now at this point.
Yep, all season, all year long. I've flown. Usually the planes can fly in very cold weather, like 10 degrees, 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
But
And that's a ground temperature?
yeah. So,
Okay.
but the flights.
Is there heat in the plane, though?
There is heat in the plane.
I was
yeah.
going to say,
Yeah.
fucking
So-
legs are freezing.
I have a story about the heat too, but the school doesn't like to have the planes go up in the air in freezing cold because plastic gets really brittle, so
yeah.
things can break. So every 15 minutes, you actually have to switch fuel tanks. There's 2 fuel tanks on the plane. They're in the wings. So Cessnas have where it'll pull fuel from both tanks at the exact same time. So the high wing planes. These ones you have to switch between left and right. There's no both. It's just left or right.
So we're on a Cessna, whether the higher wing planes, is it gravity fed or is it still a pump?
It's still a pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a pump. Very similar to still a mechanical pump.
Yep.
So you'll use the electric pump only when you're starting the engine or if you're going to be landing or doing any kind of maneuvering.
Yep.
If you're cruising, that fuel pump's off,
Yep.
the electric pump. And what's interesting with these being carbureted is you're actually
Is it using like engine vacuum pressure to pull the fuel or something?
it's an actual mechanical driven pump.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the piston
okay.
pump like a bug.
Yep,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
a Beetle. Yep, just
Okay.
like a Beetle. So if you're cruising, like doing like a long cross country flight, you actually adjust your fuel mixture as well, so you can burn a little bit less fuel, so you can get a little bit further.
Wow.
Get that
okay.
air fuel ratio right. Get that
Exactly.
gauge in the corner.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I
I
started,
like to see the needle move.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. When I started out with the school, they taught me when you're cruising, you want to basically very slowly pull the fuel mixture to be more lean. And then once you start to hear it kind of get a little rough, you then feed a little more fuel back in, and then you're good. Now they added an EGR gauge, or EGT, excuse me, EGT gauge. So if you pull your fuel a little bit and you're leaning out, your end cylinder temperatures are going to start to rise. But
Okay.
you don't want to make them go too high. So once you see it get to a certain point, then you feed a little bit fuel back in.
Yep.
So then you're kind of
What does EGT stand for?
exhaust gas temperature.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Come on, man.
I don't
You're
know.
better than that.
Sorry,
You didn't
yeah.
run one of those back
Yeah.
in the day.
I mean, I knew. I'm asking for our listeners, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm
you
down
used to
pretty
drill
deep.
that into the catalytic converter where the O2 used to go. Put
Yeah.
that in there for
Yeah.
fun.
I already knew that, Ryan. I'm asking for our listeners. I don't want to assume that they knew.
I envy the old Beetle guys that have carburetors because it's like me dealing with this every day and or whenever I go flying, like you bring some appreciation to that. But like newer planes, a lot of newer planes that are very expensive, they're all fuel injected. So they're a little bit less kind of have to think about your fuel situation or freezing over or anything like that. So, but yeah. So
you've only flown this type of plane thus far.
So it's funny. The Pipers, they all look similar. They look like this, but they're all a little different. So the
As far as the controls.
the controls are the same. It's usually engine power or like the load capacity. So how much weight they can transfer, like move around.
Yep.
So the school has 4 airplanes. Mine is the lowest horsepower one that I fly with them. They have 280 horsepower planes. They're still 4-cylinder. Still 4-seater, but they just have more power. They climb better. They're a little bit roomier inside. And then the owner of the school also has what's called a Piper Archer, which is another 180 horsepower plane. That's kind of like it's like a luxury model. It's like they had them that came with like air conditioning, just not much to ask for, but like they had certain features that a lot of these lower tier planes didn't have.
Yep.
And like I've gotten to fly 3 of the 4. The school just bought a 4th one over the summer because the other 3 were so booked out. They're like, we need another plane to kind of make sure that people can get seat time. Or if a plane's down for maintenance, that they can put a student in one of the other planes. So
how often are you flying with this regiment that you're on now?
So it's tough. I'm actually right now at this moment, I'm kind of in a weird in between with flying because of the actual test taking portion. So when I started, it was about once a week. And then once winter came to be, or even actually I should say fall, because a lot of the younger kids that were high schoolers or younger kids, they would either go off to college or they would do sports or their time would get too busy. So all this time would open up with the school and they're like,
could fly more.
Fly way more. So last fall, it was like 2 to 3 times a week. Flying.
And now is it like, do you like get a plan or do you just pay per visit?
You usually book time. You have a shared calendar. You'll book time on the calendar. It's usually 2-hour blocks. You'll book time that's convenient for you. When I started out, it was you book time for the plane. So you're renting the plane, and then you're also renting the instructor's time.
Okay.
So you have to pay them 2 separate. The plane cost includes fuel, which is nice. And then the instructor time is just to have the instructor with you. So that way he can plan for his time with other students, the plane being available. So that usually, when I started out, I would usually book like 3 weeks in advance.
Yep.
During the summer, it was kind of tough. It was like you look like a week ahead and it was booked out, 2 weeks ahead, booked out. So you kind of, when it's busier, you had to book a little further out.
Yep. Take what you can.
Yeah. So, and it's tough too, because like the one thing I love is with wintertime is, I don't know if people notice this, but like springtime and fall, it gets very windy. And that's because you have all these temperature changes. So at night it's freezing and then daytime it warms up, and you'll get wind when you have temperature changes.
Like right now it's very windy.
It's extremely
you always
windy.
have to become an amateur meteorologist to figure out when you're going to go.
My instructor actually told me that when he first started. He's like, one thing you're going to have to realize is you basically have to become like basically a weatherman. You have to be able to see all the weather bands, like how you would on Weather Channel or whatever, and basically be able to predict, is it safe for me to go flying today or is it not?
And you have to factor in where you're leaving from and where you're arriving.
Exactly, yeah. So when I started out, it was mostly kind of just staying in the area at the airport or just flying around the airport. And then as we got more comfortable, then it was, all right, this morning we're going to fly like 2-3 towns south to Lawrence. Lawrence would be an example, or Fitchburg. Fitchburg was another
And
one.
you land in
when you-
Fitchburg?
Yep.
When you landed in Lawrence, were the tires going when you came back? That's not a great
on
town.
them. Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
There's some gold Daytons on there when you come back.
Some spinners.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so when one thing I liked about wintertime, let's get back to wintertime, is the wind kind of stays pretty calm, especially early in the morning. It's freezing ass cold in the morning, but it's usually really good for the plane to fly. It's very calm. It's really pretty. And you're not going to be bounced around up there.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
And you feel everything in a small plane like this. When it's windy out, it sucks.
Oh yeah. So that was the thing with the intro flight, going back to the introductory flight. I was stoked. I was like, this is great. Like this is
And now
really
what month
fun.
was that?
June.
Okay.
This was June. So it was a hot day. It was pretty windy. It was probably like almost 90 degrees out that day. And so we did the pre-flight, got out. He had me call air traffic control, kind of told me what to say. He's like, all right, we're going to take off. So we take off and we lift off the ground, and it's a little breezy. And dude, I'm not kidding you. I was probably 50 feet off the ground. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrifying. This is absolutely fucking terrifying.
And this is the first time you're behind
I
the
made a
wheel off
huge
the ground.
mistake.
That's
I don't want to
exactly
do this.
what was going through my brain. I was like, am I suited for this? Like I was having doubts because it was very windy that day, being hot, getting bounced around. He's like, all right, you're going to try this maneuver. We're going to fly over here, try these things, kind of just feel out how you control with the airplane.
And now the things that he's calling out to you, is this pretty familiar from the simulators?
Sorta. So yeah. Mostly just like, all right, I want you to kind of turn left, but don't be too aggressive, and like certain degrees of a turn, and kind of just do a left turn.
So your first time out, you're already handling the plane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Amazing.
He's kind of like
he's
a
shadowing
hands-on
the
guy.
control.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's like driver's ed shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he trusted me. The first flight, obviously was like, I'm gonna land the plane. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you do
No,
that.
you should definitely.
please do.
I was white knuckled on this.
It's like as you should. Yeah. As you
get
should.
us on the ground.
You weren't gonna land the plane. Wait, what?
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah.
Alice was in the back seat too, and she was taking pictures and videos and giggling back there, and she knew I
Good
was
for her,
doing
like,
this.
Yeah.
She was all about
What
it.
an iron constitution
Yeah.
she has,
Yeah.
being just chucked back there.
All about it. So yeah, we landed. And
She's pretty fucking cool. If
Yeah,
you couldn't
pretty
tell by
dope.
now.
Yeah.
she was all about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. Landed, felt really good once we were on the ground, and I remember we kind of did like a debrief with the instructor, and I was like, I don't know, man, like that was a lot. Like my brain was like, I need to be down there, not
Yeah.
up here. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you, every single person that goes up goes through that. He's like, every single one. He's like, it's usually by the third or fourth flight that someone does. If they're still feeling that way, then maybe it's not for them. He's like, I would give it more chances. He's like, obviously it's an introduction. There was a lot of information that you're getting.
Yeah.
All at once. The kind of shocker when that first intro flight was there is a lot of multitasking with the airplane stuff. Like more, I think of like with like a drummer. Like drummers kind of have to multitask, and like I don't know if I could ever play drums, like being able to work my feet, hands, get on rhythm, all that. Like
Yeah.
plane is kind of similar, where you have air traffic control talking to you. You have all the instruments in front of you. You have what's going on outside of you. You got to make sure the plane is still running. Your fuel's pumping, oil temperature's good, oil pressure's good. Everyone's good in the plane. It's not too hot, not too windy. Like,
And it's not
all
like a
these
car where it's like, well, just turn it on. If it stops running, like whatever, I'll roll to the
pull
side of the
over.
road.
Yep,
Yeah,
pull
it's
over.
not
No,
like that.
It's always that thought.
There are so many gauges in a plane.
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
watch what's happening.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
just be staring at the gauges.
Now, when you're looking at all those gauges, let me pull up.
Some of them are spinning
You-
real
you-
fast. Some
yeah,
of them are
you-
spinning and all like,
what
is that?
ones are? How many are important out of all the ones that
So
are? on
we-
there?
I'm gonna say all of them.
So
I'm going with all of them.
What ones really you give a fuck
Ryan's
about?
right. So all
Yeah,
Look at
they're
her-
all correct. They
Her
all
fucking name changed too. Everybody's names just keeps changing.
Piper, I barely know. We're coming for you in December. Yeah.
TDs were coming for you.
Yeah. That's so good.
You're gonna take a Piper Cup to
Who is
down
that?
to Florida.
So Nurse Stank is my wife.
Also his wife.
Oh, okay, all right.
And then TDs. But so yeah, if you pull up like instruments, so you can just say like do like a Piper Cherokee dashboard or something, and you'll just see, and we can kind of talk about those. But your question, all the instruments are important. They teach you to scan the instruments. You don't ever stay fixated on one. You want to kind of glance, move on to the next.
I put an
glance.
oil pressure temperature in the buggy, and that's all I watch.
I do that on the
Please don't
ground.
blow
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Voltmeter. That's all I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Coolant temp. That's it. Yeah. Just locked in.
I should be watching the road, but I'm
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're gonna land in your front lawn, TDs.
the most important gauges, we call them the 6-pack. So it's 6 gauges that are important. So there's your airspeed, your attitude. So that's the blue and the black looking one with the.
That's like the front back tilt.
Yeah, it's
okay.
the nose where the nose is tilted. Then you have your altimeter, so how high you are. You have your turn coordinator, which can kind of talk about that. I can get into that. And then you have your vertical speed indicator, and then you.
If you're dropping like a rock. or
Yeah,
not,
if you're plummeting to the earth.
Yeah. That's a good one to watch.
Yeah. And then an older style gauge, they call it an OBS gauge, but it's more so for like navigation.
That's good.
Oh, and your heading indicator. Heading's very important.
How's this look?
That's good. So, yeah, so 6-pack. So we usually start up on the left-hand side, so not all the way left. So that one right there, that is
Yep.
your airspeed indicator.
Okay.
So the green is basically you are in flight. Anything, it's tough to zoom in on that, but
Yeah. I was
there's a bunch of bands on there.
wasting a lot of time
They all
trying
mean,
to make a
it's
bigger
okay.
one. Yeah.
They all mean different things on that airspeed indicator, but the plane will actually get airborne at like 60 miles an hour. They don't take a lot. I say 60 miles an hour. It's not a lot to get up off the ground.
That's a smaller.
So What's the? So I'm looking at obviously the left and the right side here. The pedals. Let's talk. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
What do we got here?
So those are your rudder pedals. So that's another funny thing is that freaked me out is when we first went with the instructor, everyone does this when they first get into a plane. They turn the yoke, but nothing happens because you're supposed to actually on the ground, you steer with your feet.
Oh.
So the rudder pedals will control.
I clutched in. All we did was take a left turn. What the fuck's happening?
Hard left turn.
Hard left turn.
Yeah, it's like you ever put your clutch pedal foot on the brake pedal. It's like that. Yeah, slam on the brakes. So with these,
so good.
you'll turn. So those rudder pedals will turn the front wheel as well as the rudder behind you.
That's on the tail fin.
It's on the tail. It's the vertical thing on the tail. So that yaws the nose left or right, either on the ground or in the air.
In the air, you still need those.
You still absolutely need those.
Yep.
Because
And only one person controls those.
What's that?
Only one.
So this plane doesn't actually. You can kind of see that one on the left. See where it says Piper, the silver things.
Yeah.
Those are the brakes. So the tops of them are
okay.
brakes. They work just like a car's brakes.
Okay.
Except it's for both feet.
Wheel brakes.
You have brakes on each of your main wheels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can actually. It's kind of cool. If you need to do a really sharp turn, rather than using the rudder pedal, you can skid on one brake. To
Yeah, you can brake one side.
Exactly. In our plane, we have brake pedals on both sides for the instructor and for my side.
Yep.
And some planes didn't have brakes on the right side. That was kind of an option.
Yep.
But with all the school's planes, they all have them on the right because obviously they're instructing students. They want to be able to stop them on the ground if they need to.
Yeah.
That moves the nose left or right, whether you're on the ground or in the sky. The yoke, pull back, the nose goes up, push forward, the nose goes down. And then
That's like the steering column.
Yep, the steering column there.
Yep.
Then to bank the plane, so kind of lean the wings left, you turn it the yoke
So
left.
the flaps of the wings.
Yep, ailerons.
Okay.
So they're called ailerons. So those will allow the wings to one side to dip. And then
No, that's the steering wheel that's doing that?
That's how you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, steering. But you asked about you need to use the rudder in the sky. So back to the gauges, right below the airspeed indicator. So
the one with the picture of the airplane
the
on
little airplane.
Yep.
The one to the left of that.
To the left.
Oh,
of
this
that.
one.
That
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
See how there's the airplane, the white airplane, and then there's like a bar with a little black ball in it.
Yeah.
That little black
It's like a
ball,
level.
It's literally a level like you would at like your
Yeah.
house if you're doing construction, whatever. That ball, if you're flying and if that ball is not centered, you're what's called uncoordinated, which basically means
Yeah.
the plane is
You're
kind of
going one way. Yeah,
It's
you're
like skidding. It's actually literally
Oh,
It's
no
like
shit.
when a truck is
Sideways.
dog walking pretty
exactly
much.
right.
Yep.
It's exactly
crab
right.
walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to compensate for that. You want to center that ball using the rudder pedal. So the rudder brings that ball back to center. So you are
The
coordinated.
rudder's essentially going to move the ass end so you're moving in a straight line.
Exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I could imagine, is it better?
Now with
not so
wind-
much fuel
wind will
economy, but
affect
just,
that, right?
So yeah, that's what a lot of people don't realize, and this was something that kind of clicked for me even on the first day. Is the instructor had asked me, he's like, look outside for a second and see where's the nose of the plane pointed and where are we actually moving. And you actually see the nose of the plane will be pointed one way, but it'll be moving sideways because of the wind.
No
Wind
shit.
is so
Like, I'm
important.
drifting.
Literally.
I'm finally drifting.
Yeah. It's kind of like, this is kind of an extreme example, but if you're out in the ocean, like you have a current, well, the boat will be pointed one heading, but the current will kind of pull it.
You're pushing sideways.
Yeah.
Wind is
100%.
very, very prominent, and you actually have to account for that when you're doing longer flights. You can be pointed towards where you want to
The
go.
extra miles you
Yeah.
would actually have
Exactly,
to go.
yeah. So you have to...
You could waste a lot of time if you're not
Exactly.
paying attention to
Time
that.
Yeah.
and like the
And
fuel.
fuel.
Yep.
Huge factor because that's
all
a
you
stop
got.
it for a gas station up there.
Exactly, it's all you got, right?
You're gonna get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
How high? So how high are you flying?
So usually I'll fly, depends on where you're, it's crazy. They go so deep into this, but like depending on if you're going east, you're supposed to fly at certain altitudes. If you're going west, you're supposed to be flying at certain altitudes.
It's planes, like
Different levels, right?
not
So-
planes, the plane, but like planes.
Other planes,
of-
it keeps traffic
Yeah.
separation. So like
Yeah,
other
yeah.
planes to not hit each other. So like for example, my first real cross country solo flight, I flew from Nashua up to Sanford, Maine, which is just outside of Portland, just over the border. That's to the northeast. So I'm like, all right, since I'm flying northeast, I have to fly 3,000 feet plus 500 because I'm going east. So because I'm flying with my eyeballs looking outside, I have to fly at 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, every 2,000 feet. Odds, right? Odd altitudes.
Okay.
But the 500, the 3,500 is because I'm going east. If I was going west, it would be evens with 500. So if
I
I'm
see.
if I'm going to New York from
Yeah.
New Hampshire, I'd have to fly at 4,000 feet, 6,000 feet, 8,000 feet, plus the 500 because of visual.
So is this something you...
And now what do you mean visual? Because you're not using radar or whatever?
So there's different kinds of flying where there's VFR, so visual flight rules. So I am right now trying to get certified to fly VFR. So that basically means I can't fly in weather. I can't fly in clouds, fog.
Oh, this is the instrument classification.
Right?
Yes.
So
yes,
the
yes,
next, once you get your VFR, private pilot's license,
Yep.
then the next thing is instrument, so IFR. That allows me to use the instruments to fly in fog, weather, rain.
Oh, wow.
You're flying blind,
Basically
basically.
blind, yeah. And even for VFR training, like, and I've done this over the summer. When we had wildfires, I mean, we've had wildfires every summer this year, but or this last couple of years. There was like a haze, and my instructor called me. He's like, "Hey, you're actually required to do 3 hours of instrument training with me with you. This is perfect opportunity." It's like it's really hazy out. Like normally, if there's not a haze outside or whatever, they'll actually put they call them foggles. They're not like beer goggles, but they cover up the outside window, so you can't see outside. You can only focus on inside the plane.
Yep.
Oh,
Or they put a hood on you. I like the foggles a little better because the hood's kind of bulky.
The hood seems like rapey.
Yeah, big time.
I'm getting kidnapped
It's
right
bulky
now. I'm in a white
and
van.
annoying.
Yeah.
So we're required a little bit of instrument training. But yeah, that's the next thing is to get instrument certified.
Okay.
Once I get certified doing VFR flying.
Cool.
So you have, and certain planes are instrument rated. So you need to have certain kinds of instruments to be allowed to fly IFR.
Certain planes you can't even fly IFR.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know the exact requirements for instruments for IFR yet because I haven't focused on that. But most planes, like this one doesn't have it, but most planes will have an actual GPS unit in there.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool. They're super nice because you basically say, I want to go to this airport, and you hit a button and it draws a pink line and says, all right, fly this heading and go this way. There are other instruments that I think are required to fly IFR as well, but that's definitely one of them is to have a GPS. But that'll be the first thing. And like for me, I'm trying not to like scope creep for my like training, but just focus on the instruments or the visual stuff now.
Yep.
Focus on what I have to do now, get that done, and then move on to instrument afterwards.
Yeah, step by step seems like the good way to do this.
Yeah.
Don't try to start at the top.
Yeah,
Work
focus
your way back.
on what you're focusing on.
Yeah. So we got, that's technically, I said 6-pack, that's an 8-pack. So they're the circular instruments there on the right. There's two.
These two here.
Those are navigation like instruments.
But if you have a GPS, you would be relying on that, not those, right?
Exactly, right? So my plane, when I was starting to fly, had those, but also had a GPS. And then the owner of the flight school was like, we don't really need these. Like, we can probably get rid of these. He also replaced a couple other instruments to do more, to make them all electronic and modern.
Yeah.
All of those are basically powered either by like a gyro or vacuum pressure. So they actually are very analog mechanical.
Yep.
And some of them like to fail, and when they do fail, they're very expensive. And he was getting so sick of it, he's like, I'm just going to replace stuff with electronic instruments. So when he replaced he replaced the blue and the brown instrument and the one with the orange airplane, the heading indicator.
These two middle
Those
ones.
two middle ones he replaced with electronic ones. So the upper one is an electronic version of the blue and the brown.
So is it just like a full LED screen?
Pretty much. Yeah, they're little squares.
Okay.
So there's two of them. You can get ones that are like more like big, tall rectangle.
Yeah.
But he got two little squares. So the upper one is your attitude, so where your nose is pitched up or down, and your bank angle. And then the bottom one is your heading indicator, so what heading the plane is headed. That heading indicator, you actually have to adjust it every 15 minutes because it's not a compass. It's powered by a gyro. It's not a magnetic compass.
Huh.
We have a magnetic compass in the plane.
Yeah.
So you have to, when you're on the ground, set that heading indicator
Based on the compass.
based on the compass. And then every 15 minutes, you have to look and, all right, where's the compass pointed? Am I straight and level? All right, I got to adjust that heading indicator. With the electronic ones, I don't need to do that anymore. The electronic
cool.
ones it's self-calibrating. They're super awesome. So that was kind of a learning curve for that. So as I've progressed, what's really cool is the plane has also progressed. He's put a lot of money into like,
But it's almost like photography. It's like learning to develop a photo
yeah,
teaches you how to use Photoshop. You know, it's
Exactly.
like if you understand the principles of photo processing, you understand the tools in Photoshop. Kind of the same idea.
Or like you're in high school, like your math teacher's like, you need to know how to do the math problems. You can't
Yeah.
use a calculator.
When am I ever going to use this?
Literally, yeah. And I thought that too. I was like, oh, like I'll have a GPS when I'm flying. It's like, no, you
Yeah.
still, even for test taking, like you have to know.
Yeah,
How to do all this stuff.
understanding the principles of how that gauge works.
Yep.
You know, if something failed, you'd have a backup plan.
Exactly. You need a backup plan from there. So, that's kind of the instruments there. There's a radio. The square thing on the right is your radio.
Yep.
Ours is a little more modern than that. That's like a double stack radio. So every plane will have a main radio and a backup radio. So if one dies, you have another. And also I don't want to go too deep, but like if you're on the ground.
The whole principle of this show is to go too deep.
Okay. If you're on the ground, so different airports not every airport has air traffic controller at the airport, or a tower, I should say.
Yeah, like some really small airports.
Like Pawtucket, I flew into Pawtucket
Yeah.
in April. That one doesn't have a tower. Lawrence doesn't have a tower. Fitchburg doesn't have a tower. It's actually kind of surprising. We're really lucky at Nashville because Nashville has a tower, and they basically tell you what to do, where to go, et cetera. And they're super amazing, patient air traffic controllers. There's, I think, 5 or 6 of them. One of them's an older lady. Another one's an older guy that you hear them every time you go flying. It's great.
Yeah.
And found out that I didn't know this until recently, that the air traffic controllers, there are some municipality airports that actually contract out air traffic controllers. So they don't actually necessarily work for the FAA. They work for a company that gets hired by the airport to do air traffic control. So they're still getting paid and all employment and all that. So, but they're really patient, especially like when I was doing my first solo flight. I told them, I was like, this is my first solo flight. Please be patient with me. And they're like, no worries. You're good. So,
and you flew out of Nashua for that.
Out of Nashua, yeah. So actually,
When you say solo flight, just you?
just me. So
Oh, wow.
the very first solo flight, I showed up, it was February this year. I kind of had anticipation, like I'm probably getting up to there to be ready to solo, fly by myself. Went up in the sky, did some landings, takeoffs with my instructor, landed on the ground. I was about to shut off the plane. He's like, do you have your student license? I'm like, yep. He's like, do you have your medical card? I'm like, yep. He's like, all right, I'm hopping out. You're going to go up on your own. And that's how they do it. They kind of rug pull you to kind of,
Wow.
it's good they do that because students will anticipate it and think, oh, today's the day. But no, it's best to kind of send you on your way and keep things fluid.
Where's that, John?
That's the Nashua Air Traffic
That's
Control
Nashua.
Tower.
So that one, actually, that's actually Manchester.
Oh, that's Manchester.
That's
yeah.
Manchester. So Manchester's a little bit bigger of an airport. And I won't go into, there's different kinds of airports, but Manchester has more commercial flights out of there.
Oh,
So
okay.
a little bit, it's smaller than like Boston but like Manchester still has like Delta and American and the big
Yeah, and they
airlines.
pull all the UPS and FedEx planes.
Yep,
in.
they
This
have
is the Nashua Air
That
Traffic
is the National Airport Air Traffic Controller.
hilarious.
Yep.
So
That's,
some guy's house.
yep.
He built an observatory at his house.
My instructor said he's been up there. I've never been. I want to see up there because I see it every week. But yeah, they just sit up there. They got their computers. They're watching what's going on around.
So it's really funny. I do fire inspections for a living, and we do work on Quonset.
Oh yeah,
Airbase.
yeah.
So we inspect the tower because obviously they have a system in there.
So you've gotten to go up in the tower.
I've got to go up there once. The guys go up there all the time, and it's no big deal. Like nobody seems to give a shit over there. Like you can just kind of wander around.
Yeah. Once you're in,
there's-
you're in.
There's a little bit of like, hey, you pass the thing, you get inside, and then it's like, yeah, you can go upstairs. Like no problem.
Yeah.
I went up there and I talked to the guy who was the flight traffic controller up there.
Yep.
Older guy, probably his mid to late 60s, super chill. I expected like to go up there and be like pins.
What are you
and
doing?
needles, like
Yeah.
wicked. Like I was super respectful, and I was with a couple other guys. This dude was as chill as they come. He's like, I've worked in 40 airports. I've worked at Logan. I've worked in Dulles. I've worked in.
Seasoned.
Yeah, he's like, I've worked all over the country, Denver, like whatever. He's like, this control tower is the biggest control tower I've ever worked in. He's like, Logan, you crawl in and drop into a seat
Oh man.
and sit there in front of computers.
Yeah.
And there's 3 or 4 other people there as well.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the like we were all up there. We had like lounge chairs. Like it was so much room.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, hang on one sec. And he just pushed a button and yelled a bunch of numbers and letters.
Yep.
For temperature, weather,
Yep.
time, and like that.
Yep.
And then he unhit the button and he was just like, yeah. So it was just like
Continue on.
he was so chill, and it was such a rad experience up there. Like, all the monitors and all the stuff, and he's just by himself. And they don't land like one plane a month over there, unless they're on maneuvers. Like
I was gonna say, is
over there.
Quonset pretty busy or?
No, it's the Air Force Base. So
Yeah,
like,
so they don't
unless
have a
those
whole
guys are
lot
going up and down.
That's probably why he's so chilled out, because it's like Logan. I've flown through Boston airspace twice, and it is madness. It is.
I
a lot
can't even
going on.
imagine.
It is a lot going on with that airspace. So the airspace for Boston is a 30-mile radius around Logan Airport. So you're still talking to people that are, I should say, the people you're talking to when you're flying through the Logan airspace aren't actually sitting at Logan. They're actually sitting at an office right about a mile from our house in Nashua.
Really?
There is an FAA building, and this dates back to World War II. They put an FAA building in New Hampshire because if something happened to Boston, that they could still have flight controllers controlling the sky, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So that's called Boston Center. So Boston Center basically controls all the airspace around Boston, and those guys are FAA certified. They work for the FAA.
And they're in Nashua.
In Nashua, yeah, they live
Oh.
in the area. Yeah, my old landlord he still is an air traffic controller at Boston Center, and I was chatting with him about it, and he's always kind of left the stress at work and never brought it home. But like you can see, like air traffic control, I would argue, and I think this is
One of the most stressful jobs.
one of the most stressful jobs ever, because you have people's lives at stake. Like you're trying to herd cats.
They
Like,
have a huge like suicide rate.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wicked high suicide rate for
That
them.
was
Yeah,
one of the craziest premises from Breaking Bad too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The one of the girl that Jesse was dating's father was a air traffic controller, and the girl died.
Yeah, when that plane crashed.
And then the plane crashed.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
happening,
that's
yeah.
right, that's
Yep.
right, that's right.
Yeah. Well, it's such a stressful job, and the FAA knows that it's such a stressful job. They actually require that they retire at a very young age. I think it's 55.
Yeah.
It might actually be less than that. So my old landlord, when I was talking to him about it, he's 30, or I think he's in his 40s, and he's like, yeah, I got like 10 years. I'll retire from the FAA, collect a pension, and then I'll go fly airplanes, because he was in the Air Force, so he flew airplanes down in Antarctica. He's done a lot of flying, so he eventually
That's
was going to
cool.
move into doing commercial stuff. So, but yeah, air traffic control, that's air traffic control. They're amazing people. They are patient. If you mess up, they'll sometimes make fun of you, rightfully so. Other
As long as
pilots-
you don't mess up too bad.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
More so mess up like in something you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll make fun of you, but it's all good. Like they're really great. They're very helpful. Like we're taught very early on, like if you don't know something of like what's going on or what to do, you
Ask them.
Just ask. Yeah, you just got to ask. So,
And they're happy to help you.
yeah, they're amazing. They're really great. So yeah.
They don't want a crash and burn on their record either. So
No,
Yeah.
yeah, true. So yeah, I feel for them now. It's like not having a lot of controllers right now is tough, but I think the FAA is doing the right thing, kind of trying to slow flights down. It's inconvenient for a lot of people, but it's a good safety thing.
Yeah, is that what they were talking about? The airport's like 40 to 50 flights.
Yeah,
a
they're
day,
trying to
and,
roll
like,
back the amount of flights that the FAA is allowing to be taking off, so they can have the staff to support that. So
It's wild because like I work a ton in Providence and Warwick and whatever, and if I'm in Warwick and I'm near the airport, you watch one plane land, and one take off, and then one land and one take off. It's like this ballet, right?
yeah,
We're talking 8 minutes in between. Like one lands, one takes off. One lands, one takes off.
Yep.
Like the
Fluid.
fucking balance is wild.
yeah, fluid.
Something goes wrong, and then it's like everyone starts backing up on the runway. No one can land. That is a shit show.
Yeah, when there gets to be a lot of like traffic, like there are some days even in Nashua, like you'll be 3 floor planes ahead of you trying to land.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, if you're gonna land, like extend yourself out a little bit, give yourself some time, let the other planes land, and then you'll be cleared to land. They'll tell you you're cleared to land.
So real quick, you might have covered this when I stepped out. With air traffic controls, are most of them like former pilots?
No, so some are either former Air Force, like my landlord, he's air traffic controller. He also flew planes.
Yeah.
A lot of them, the way it works for becoming an air traffic controller is actually very difficult. So from what I understand and how it used to be, I don't know if they've changed it now. There's a shortage of them, so they're trying to
Yeah.
get more in there. You basically have to, every couple of years, because my landlord was telling me about this, he's like, oh, you should be an air traffic controller. I was like, I can't do that.
So
Like,
stressful.
they every couple of years will open a lottery, and they have the lottery where it's like a ton of people apply, whether they have college degrees or no college degrees. You throw your name into this lottery. they'll pick a certain number of people that they say, all right, you're eligible to now go to air traffic control school. It's a school. There's a school in Oklahoma that they'll send you down to, and you'll live there for 6 months, and they'll train you. Then you take a test. Depending on how well you do on the test out of your class, that period will then determine. So say I went in, there's 150 students. I take the test. I get number 10. If I got number 10, they're like, all right, you're the 10th in line to choose what airport you want to work at or what location you want to work at. So my landlord, grew up in upstate New York, and I don't know how he did on the test, but he took the test, I think he did pretty well, and the closest he could be to New York was Boston Center, was the New Hampshire airport, or the Boston Center building in our town. And he's been there for years, and it's a big life adjustment to do that. So, but it's a very selective process. There are schools now that, like colleges, I think that they have like programs that will set you up to be an air traffic controller, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee you a spot. But again, I think it's now changing because they need more controllers. Yeah. And there's a lot that are retiring, and there's such a short span of time that people can work as a controller because of the early retirement.
Do you know, or if you don't know, what are your thoughts on why there's such a shortage?
There's a shortage now. I think it has to do with because of the restriction, like how hard it is to become a controller. And also all the controllers that did their tenure are now all retiring. And it's a long process to become a controller.
Wow.
So it's that 6 month period.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
definitely.
It could even be longer too. If you're like a person waiting for the lottery, whatever, and you don't get picked, it's a very long process. You have to have like perfect health record, no heart problems, no like sleep apnea, none of that stuff. And they like
you can't
really
be falling asleep.
Yeah. No SSRIs, like medication. Like they're very, very strict on that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
So you were talking about
the jump.
Yeah.
You were talking about some you're coming in. Some airports have control towers, some don't.
Yep.
All right. What do you
That's
do?
what I just pulled this one up because I flew into this airport once, and I'm like, this was the smallest
Is
airport.
this the one from Mr. Deeds where the dude was just in the fucking lifeguard tower?
This is the smallest airport I've ever landed in.
Which one is this?
This is Clear Lake, New York.
Okay.
So I was flying for work. I had to go pick up a truck from a guy's house. All I knew is this was like Monday morning. I walk into work. Someone said, "Hey, you gotta go pick up a truck." The guy lives in Saranac Lake, New York. I look it up. It's on like the Canadian border.
Oh, Saranac is a beer company, don't they?
And I'm like, oh, whatever, cool. What's the closest airport? Clear Lake, cool. Book it. JetBlue. Don't even think about it. I get to Logan, and they're like, oh, this flight's operated by Cape Air, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Makes sense. Yep.
And I go, and they're like, all right, we're just gonna walk you out onto the tarmac, and it's like, all right, you just got to step on the scale, and I'm standing on a scale in front of the plane. And I'm like, what's this for? I'm like, oh, we're just figuring out what side of the plane we're going to put you on.
Exactly. Weight and balance is really
Yeah,
and then
when
they go,
I'm on a plane and if I cough to my left and it goes left, I don't want to be on
all
that
they
plane.
have. And then all I have with me, because I'm literally just going to pick up this guy's truck and drive back. I've got my laptop and a messenger bag. This messenger bag right here.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, I just got to take your bag. And I'm like, oh, no, this is my carry-on. He's like, oh, no. Everything goes in stow.
Yeah.
And
They
they open the nose of the plane. It's just literally just like a frunk, and they just chuck my laptop in this frunk.
Dude, you fart wrong. You're
Is it
setting
gonna
off
freeze?
weight and
Like,
balance.
what's
Yeah,
happening?
I get in the plane. It's two like 19-year-old girls, the pilots.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. And we hopped up in the air, and it was me and 4 other people on the plane.
Can we just say right now, real quick? I hate to interrupt you, but how we just trust everyone in flight? We're just like,
I assume if I
Trust.
ever get on a plane that person flying the plane has done the correct things to
Yeah.
do
no,
that.
you assume, but it's amazing
assume
we
that.
just trust it.
But
We're
I
just
have
like,
to
what-
assume that because if
it's
I
like-
didn't
it's-
assume that,
it's the
I
same
would be
with
having a
guy
panic attack
operating
the
a
entire
train,
time.
a boss,
No,
whatever. We're like,
trust me.
okay, let's just get
And
on.
this isn't. And this,
I think it's crazy. We're just like,
I'm
I trust you,
wild.
and I don't even know you.
I'm stating a
It's
fact
wild
and
that
the
we
fact.
as a species
And then when you
invented
go-
something where we have to have this much schooling to use it.
Yeah.
And I'm just. This is an observational thing. It was 2 younger women, but if it was a guy and a girl or 2 guys, I would have thought the same thing. I sat in my seat. I was 2 back from them, and I'm like, these are 2 young people.
Yep.
And it was me and like I said, 4 other customers and these 2 very young people. Like I'm 99% sure they're not old enough to drink. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
All right, guys, we never did a barrel roll. We're gonna give it a whirl. What?
But it was. I'll tell you, it was we're going to way upstate New York, and it was a beautiful flight. I mean, it was like, when you're landing on a big commercial plane and you can see everything. It was like that, like the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Because you're
fucking
only
unbelievable.
3,000 feet up.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not that far
Except
up.
you're in a Sprinter van of the sky.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was a Cessna we were in. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably
It's
to
like-
have two
it's pretty
propellers.
funny.
Yeah, it had propellers on each wing.
Sides, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
take
really
care.
wanted to, you could have reached forward and turned the plane yourself.
It's funny.
But
as
there
this
was
is-
no separation to the cockpit.
no, yeah.
I could see the two pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weight and balance thing is really important too, because that's one thing that they teach you as well. And we'll get into the test part at the end. But like they teach you of certain planes, like if you bring you and 3 other friends on the plane with you, someone might have to leave a bag on the ground, or you might have to drain your fuel, because there is a certain weight that the plane can be, and you do not go over that weight by any means. You actually want to leave yourself a little
Some
bit
wiggle
of
room.
leeway. Yeah. So that's important. And like a smaller plane, yeah, exactly. You need to stow baggage in a certain part of the plane so everything's kind of balanced. Bigger planes, when they like measure your carry-on for the overhead stow, usually I think those planes can handle weight and balance well, but they still, that comes into like factor there. So usually heavier bags, or bags when they weigh your bags, if it's over a certain limit, they're like, all right, we need to put it, they need to control where the bag's going to go.
Yep.
Because they're like, all right, if it's a heavier bag, where is everybody else's bags? Okay, it's more near the front of the plane, so we got to put John's heavy bag in the back to kind of make sure the plane is as balanced as possible.
And I'm walking on this plane like, I wonder if I can get a gin and tonic on this thing.
You guys have
Nope.
service?
Yeah, if you had a nip in your pocket.
Yeah.
So let's file back.
Inflator
Yeah,
entertainment.
but
what are
I
we
don't want to
doing?
pass this. So what's the fielder method?
Yeah.
So the fielder method is, I think it's on HBO. Nathan Fielder, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a comedian. He's a guy from Canada. He did a docu-series. I forget what it's called. But basically, I won't spoil it, but season 2, if you actually, why don't you look it up?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah. Season 2 of this docuseries, he went into, he found out or figured out, he's like, why do pilots not really talk to each other when they're like setting up for the airplane? Like a lot of airlines will get a pilot and a co-pilot. They might have never met each other.
Yeah, the fielder method. It's the rehearsal, season 1, episode 4.
The rehearsal, that's what it's called. So yeah, so fielder method. So what he does is the fielder method is he will rehearse with someone to go through a certain life situation to help them get through that situation. And he goes to the extreme,
that's sick.
like the extreme. So like season 1, there was a guy who was like struggling to tell a friend something that he's been lying to her for years. And he's like, all right, we're going to rehearse with this guy to tell her the lie and see how she reacts. So he hired actors. He built a full bar in a warehouse, like a bar building.
Wow.
In this big warehouse, hired all these actors, made it like a dive bar.
Yeah.
Because the guy was the guy who was helping rehearse was gonna help or tell this woman at this dive bar that he had been lying to her for 20 years about like he had a master's degree, but he never really had a master's degree or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the fielder method. He helps people train and rehearse through uncomfortable life situations to kind of help them through. So season 2 was very interesting. And when we were watching this, we did not expect it to go as far as it did, but he basically he's like, oh, these airlines they have a pilot and a co-pilot. They might have not ever seen each other ever until today to fly a plane full of 250 people.
That's crazy
Like,
to think about.
what happens if an emergency happens and the pilot's like, no, we're fine. And the co-pilot's like, we're not good. Like, I need to take over. And the pilot's like, no. Like, it's fine. The fielder method, basically, he tries to do like a case study research in how do you help with pilots who have mental health problems? Because pilots, you can't necessarily become a pilot if you're on antidepressants, or if you report to a doctor that you're taking SSRIs or anything like that.
Yeah, if you have like a moment where you're like, I think this is it, I'm going to end it all, and you
Exactly.
take 300 innocent souls with you.
So
like,
they're
that's
very,
fucking
very strict
wild.
about that. And a lot of pilots struggle with some kind of depression because they don't really talk to their pilot or co-pilot or whatever. And there's a lot of challenges there. So what Fielder does, Nathan Fielder, is he basically he tried going to the airlines and is like, hey, can I see from when a pilot wakes up till when they land the airplane full of the 100 whatever people, what does their day look like?
Yeah.
And the airline's like,
Nope.
Nope. Sorry. Can't do it.
Classified.
Hell no. they're like, we can't let you do that. So he's like, you know what?
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
So what he does, I don't want to ruin it, but like he
go ahead.
basically gets his pilot license, and he goes so far with it.
He actually gets it.
He flies a 737 jumbo jet
Wow.
with people,
A Boeing.
a Boeing 737 with a co-pilot,
Yeah.
and
But he actually legitimately gets his license.
he gets everything. So he gets the VFR license that I'm trying to go for, gets the IFR license.
No, it's a TV show. I'm saying
No,
he
I
really
know,
gets
yes.
it.
he really,
Yeah.
really gets them.
I'm just
Yeah.
reiterating.
He
You
really
can't
gets
just get
them.
in one of those things not knowing it.
Yeah. Yeah, he really gets them. Then the next thing up from the instrument one is the multi-engine one, which is what those girls were flying. So you have a plane that has 2 engines.
Yeah.
The next thing after that is a type rating for like a 737. So you get trained to fly a 737, a 747.
I was talking captain's license, but you get your tonnage license. Like
Same.
you get the
Yes.
bigger boats. Like you
Exactly.
buy you get a skiff, you get this,
Yeah.
and you get your 50-ton license, your 100-ton license.
Yeah,
Like,
just because you have like a multi-engine rating doesn't mean you can fly a 737.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't correlate there. So I would highly recommend, if people are listening, like I think it's on HBO. If you watch
HBO Max.
The rehearsal season 2, you don't necessarily have to watch season 1, but season 1's pretty freaking hilarious as well. He has very awkward humor too. Like you can feel like the uncomfort, like just
the
his
best
palpable-
humor.
It's
the best
so-
humor.
It's so good.
It's my worst.
So I would recommend watching it. but
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
and
got
I used to
it.
love Borat, and it was like my fucking. I hated it.
It's
I
just
couldn't watch
feels
it.
just like it's
Yeah.
tough.
Imagine saying my wife, but not
Right
in the
before
Borat
you know
voice.
it's
I
not
literally
right.
can't even imagine.
This is my plane.
Yeah.
My wife.
That's my wife right there.
My wife
She's talking about skydiving.
Did she change her name
and,
too now, just to fuck with people?
So you still would not go skydiving?
Abso-fucking-lutely
I'll
not.
go
You know,
with
what's funny, John? I don't
No,
You can go
I
with
can't
Cassie.
convince you. No, I'm not. Really
I don't
gonna
think I could go.
Why would I
skydiving
jump out of a
either.
plane
No,
that I know
I was
you
looking
can land?
for you to. Just
So
to-
Cassie's gone. She's gone like I don't know 4 times or something.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's
and,
insane.
And yeah, like she said, the skydiving planes are smaller, which is true. They're very small. And
They
like,
also have garage doors on the side. They don't count.
oh, yeah, she's like not all. Like, that's the thing. Jumping out of the plane's one thing. I almost have more of an issue of going in this plane with like a van slider door on the side,
That's
just
your
open.
issue?
The
They
ground.
just
I'm
fly in
worried
with it
about-
open.
I'm worried about someone packing my fucking shit right.
Yeah, that too.
That too. That should be your only concern. We've
Well-
all been in planes. Not a big deal.
Yeah, but
until you gotta
she's-
jump out of it
All those
with a
fuckers-
maybe.
All
With my
those baggage kids
JanSport
and all the shoe packets, they're all high.
full
all
of the fucking
time.
parachute that fucking I used to use in gym class.
3 times. She took her mom for like her 60th birthday.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
Chrissy went.
Yeah,
She jumped on a fucking plane.
yeah. We went in Halifax.
Holy shit! Why are you saying
Her
we?
mom's only 60.
Because I stood on the ground and I watched them
There's
fall out
no-
of the sky.
There's no we.
Can we
No.
still go back to her
I
mom's
drove them
only
there.
60?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drove them there.
I'm not that much older than her mom. Oh, younger than her mom. That's scary.
Yeah,
Anyway.
dude. Skydiving is crazy. I
Have
mean,
you jumped out of a plane?
No,
No.
I will never.
Are you mentally prepared to jump out of a plane?
I jumped out of the plane onto the gangplank and walked
Yeah.
and got my luggage.
All right, serious question. Do the planes you're flying have an ejecto seat? They don't? That's not a thing?
They have one door.
They
That's
have
the
one
freaky thing,
door?
too. Yeah, there have been cases like where some of the planes, like obviously they go through the inspections and everything, but sometimes there have been like there was on a story on Reddit where someone's like, I took off, I landed the plane, I took off, and I landed at some remote airport. And the door, the inside latch of the door, either the cable or whatever broke, so the door was stuck shut. So it's like, what do I do? Well, I have the radio, so it's like, all right, call out in the area, is anyone around? And it was a reel, it was an Instagram reel, and someone was like, yeah, I'm like flying to the airport. What's up? He's like, my door latch is broken and I'm on the ground. I can't get out.
Yeah.
And this other pilot flying another plane is like, oh, like no problem. I'll come land and come help you. And sure enough, so yeah, I helped him get out of the plane.
It's like a Mark II door. You just have to open it from the outside and it's fine.
Yeah, always. Yeah. Can't roll the window down.
Yeah.
I'm breaking the window,
Wait.
coming out Dukes of Hazzard style.
You said your plane has heat. Does it have AC?
No AC.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, you opened the window.
Yeah. So that's what's cool is it has.
You can open the window?
You can.
it down.
You cannot open the window, but there's vents on the ceiling and then on the floors, and they're just outside air, just coming in.
How's that feel at
It's really nice.
how many feet? you're
Glorious.
flying?
It's very nice. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah?
nice. So in the summertime,
Is
actually,
it wicked loud?
it can be because you have the headphones
Oh, yeah,
on,
yeah.
so you don't usually hear. So I was gonna say I had a story about heat from last winter.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm normally a very strong stomach person, right? I don't get nauseous. I'm pretty good. Like roller coasters, planes, like I'm good. Last winter, I would triple layer up. So I had a hoodie and then a flannel jacket on. And usually when I'm pre-fighting the plane, at that point it was like 10, 20 degrees every morning. Take the wing covers off the plane, get it all set up, check fuel, check oil. I'm freezing, dude.
Yeah.
Got my gloves on, hat, everything, hood. So my instructor shows up. We're ready to go. We get up in the air. He turns the heat on. I forgot to take all the layers off. So we're flying around the airport, landing, taking off, and I start to feel really weird. And I was like, something doesn't feel right. And he didn't say anything to me.
And you didn't say like, I don't feel okay.
I didn't say anything yet. And then
This is internally.
I was like, I feel super nauseous, super dizzy, like messed up, not good, like not in a good place.
Yeah.
And
Not in a good place to be in the
I
sky.
shouldn't be flying
I
this
should
plane.
not be flying. So
Yeah.
fortunately, I had him with me, and he noticed me, and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I don't feel very good." He's like, looked down at the heat and looked at me, and he's like, "Oh, so he's like, all right, we're done for the day. We'll land." And he's like, "Did you drink any water this morning?" And I'm like, "No." I was like, it was 7 a.m. I was like,
Yeah.
I got up, came here, pre-flight the plane, we got up in the air. I was like, I didn't have breakfast, didn't drink any water.
Oh,
He's like, I think you just had like, I don't want to call it heat stroke, but he's like, you started to like get messed up. He's like, I think you would have thrown up if we kept flying. So after that, every time I get in the plane, I make sure the vents are open. I'm not double layered up, and I always have water with me.
Yeah,
and I
nice.
have a snack beforehand. Because
just getting something in your
It's
stomach
almost
before
like
you get up
it's
in the air.
almost like seasickness, but
that's how it felt.
and
Yeah.
and all those questions he asked you is like what captains will ask someone, be like, well, or you should prepare this way: have a breakfast, drink water, be hydrated.
100%.
Yeah, crazy,
100%.
interesting.
Yeah, so that was freaking. That kind of taught me something, and it never had an issue after that. So it's
Pre-flight
like,
SIGs, they don't count.
yeah, pre-flight. So good, dude. Oh, that's good.
Oh my god.
So yeah, always got it with flying. You got to stay hydrated and everything.
So I'm gonna go back to my question: is what do you fucking do when there's no air tower?
So for example, the other airports around us that don't have towers.
Yeah.
Like when you're flying into clear New York or
Yeah,
whatever.
Or whatever,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
So
Yeah.
what you do, you take off from Nashua, and basically, when you get a certain distance away from the airport, we'll say like 30 miles away from the
It's
airport.
like, hey, I'm going to land at this fucking dump with no air traffic control tower.
Yeah, nobody's around. So what you'll do is once you leave the Nashua airport or your home airport that has a tower, you then already have on your second radio a radio frequency set up for the airport you're headed to. So the airport that you're headed to, they still have like a
They'll have a radio.
kind of like walkie-talkie. Like everyone can hear you, right? So you go on that frequency so that way everyone can hear you. So when you're about 15 miles away from the airport that you're getting to, you make a call out and you say, we'll say like Fitchburg traffic, like Cherokee, whatever, tail number, about 15 miles coming from the east. I'm going to land runway 32.
You tell them what runway you're going to land at.
Yeah, tell them what runway you're going to land out, how far away you are.
And how do you know what runways are there when you're 15 miles out?
So before you even fly anywhere, you'll either have a map that you'll look at the map of the airport you're going to, or in my case, and with modern technology, you have. So Alice got me an iPad for Christmas last year. The iPad actually can connect to a little receiver thing in the plane so we have internet in the plane.
Oh,
wow.
So I have an app on the iPad. It's called 4Flight. It's amazing. Most pilots use 4Flight now.
Yep. So this is like an industry standard.
It's an industry standard. Even commercial pilots use it.
Yeah.
I don't like to call it like the Google Maps of flying, but it kind of is.
Pretty much is.
But it does
It's a
so much.
commercially available system.
It is.
Yeah.
It shows you so much more. It'll show you other planes in the sky. It'll show you the weather. It'll show you the airport you're going to. You can zoom in on it.
And it shows you the specific runways at the airport.
Everything. All the rules for the airport, the radio frequencies, if it has a tower, if it doesn't have a tower, the lights, how long the runway is.
Fucking everything you need.
Everything you need.
Wait, because at a certain point, the bigger the airport gets, they tell you where to land. Like, there's like
Well,
a
that's
line.
what. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
If
I
there
found
is
that
a
interesting.
tower,
Where he's like,
yeah.
I told
If
them.
there's a tower,
I
they're
told
telling
them.
you.
If
Yeah.
there is a tower,
You go to
they'll tell you where to
Logan.
land.
Logan's telling you where to land.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
You're
get
not
to
just
fucking
So
say,
when
Yeah.
you're going into an
I'm coming in, I go where I want.
What's up, bitch? I'm landing on runway 67.
so when you're coming
I
in,
think I'm on 93. I landed on Zakim. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
when you're coming into an airport that has no tower,
Yep.
you're telling them where. You're communicating with somebody, right?
Anyone that's on that frequency. That's
It's
okay.
somebody on the ground, generally.
So if
yeah.
there is, if there's,
Or maybe as long as there's no one else trying to land at the
well,
same
my
time.
point
like,
is,
you're
my
just
point
gonna-
is, normally he's told what what
to go.
runway
Where
to
to go.
run, and you just said I'm coming in on this one.
Yeah, usually, so you pick the runway you want to land on
Yeah.
based the way the wind direction is going.
Sure.
So you always land into the wind. So you want the wind coming at you because it'll help you. It makes your landing very short. You don't want a long roll for a landing. You always want to fly landing into the wind. It's just safer. But yeah, when you fly to an untowered airport, you'll know where the wind is because they also, for untowered airports, they have an automatic. So every airport, tower, no tower, before you even land or even want to say you're going to land at the airport, you have to get the weather at that airport. And there's a specific radio frequency, a second radio frequency for the airport that gives you an automated weather report. So it'll be like weather report time, whatever. Winds.
And is that like every hour or something?
Every
they
hour.
update it?
Yep. It's called the ATIS. So it's Aeronautical Terminal Information System or something. You get the ATIS before you are committing to landing in an airport. Then the ATIS will give you where the wind is, where the wind's going from, and you can use your little iPad map, or you have a paper map. I always have a paper map with me.
Yep.
You open the big paper map, you're looking at the airport.
Turning it
Literally
literally
like that. Yeah,
that
literally
doesn't
just
look
like
like
that.
that street. Yeah.
Yeah, so you see where the runway is, and some airports have multiple runways, and you think, okay, what's the best runway to land on based on the wind? And usually that's a good judgment. If an airport is an untowered airport and you have other people landing there, usually you'll hear the runway that everyone else is landing on.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
you kind of judge by that. Flying at untowered airports, at least when I first started, my instructor told me, he's like, when you fly solo to an untowered airport, he's like, you'll see sometimes it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. Because he's like, you're going to have some older people that can't really hear very well. Mind you, they're safe to fly and everything. But
airport?
they kind of just do what they want to do. So common misconception with flying into an airport.
Is that the Fitchburg Airport? Does that look right?
No, Fitchburg has one runway. That one has multiple.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to find Fitchburg, or Sanford's a good one. Any of them.
Sanford?
Sanford, Maine. KSFM is the
radio
code.
station.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like a radio station.
Bring you the hits from
KSFM.
the 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
and 2000s.
So usually,
You're a friendly pilot DJ.
that's an untowered airport. Common misconception with flying to an untowered airport is actually most airports, you almost never fly straight into a runway. Like you never, from miles and miles and miles away, you never line straight up for the runway. You actually fly into what's called the traffic pattern.
Oh yeah.
So when you fly into the traffic pattern, what is that one?
That said Sanford. Is that wrong too?
Oh, that is Sanford.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Sanford. Yeah, so you fly the pattern.
Thanks for the pond in case I missed.
I love how John kind of gave up. He's like, is that wrong too?
Hard right. Yeah.
I can't trust the internet today,
Forget
obviously.
it. Forget it.
Yeah, when you fly into an airport, you're going to fly to enter the traffic pattern. So Sanford is an untowered airport, even though it has 2 runways. It looks like 3, but that's actually a taxiway up there.
So basically, this is a runway and this is a runway.
Correct. Or the other way around. So you can fly.
You can land
It's all
backwards.
about the
way.
winds,
Yeah,
right?
by the wind.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So Sanford, when you fly into Sanford, so that one on the bottom, so
Yep.
runway
25.
Where these
25.
arrows are, yep.
So the way, if there's no
And now, do they read runway numbers like that, like 25, not 25?
25.
It's always 25.
Always 25. Yeah. So when you're gonna land on runway 25, the traffic pattern by default, if an airport has no tower, controller, or anybody telling you what to do, you're always gonna fly left traffic. I think it's left traffic.
Yep.
So you basically are gonna do left turns into the runway.
Yep. So you'd want to fly in this way.
So you'll fly. So you have this big runway 25 here, right?
Yeah.
The way you approach it is you'll fly either at a 45-degree angle to that runway,
Yep.
or you can fly right directly over the middle of the runway and then come around and then land at that runway.
Okay.
So where this airplane is flying, if you were to land on runway 25.
Yeah, like if you were at this spot in this photo,
Yeah, if you were at this spot in this photo,
he's kind of in a shitty spot.
he is in kind of a shitty spot. So what I would do in here is I would fly.
You'd probably pass it, right?
I would pass to the left and
Yep.
go left, 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 and then kind of come around.
They come this way.
Yeah, and come back that way.
Yep.
And then stay with the runway on your left.
So why won't you come dead center and like you got to stay in the traffic pattern? That I understand.
Yeah, so
Because
if
I see it all the time.
this case, you wouldn't fly dead center over the runway because runway 25 is going that way. The other one is going to be runway. What is that?
Doesn't see a number on this one.
I think the
I
number's
don't know
further
off the
up.
top of my head.
Like,
It's
I
the
don't think we can see
opposite.
it.
It's 180 degrees from 225.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be flying a left traffic pattern to runway 25. If you were trying to land on the other side of the runway, this would be a perfect spot to be.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to come in that way from down to the right,
Yep.
you'd fly over the center of the runway. Right once you're over the center runway, then you turn left, fly parallel to the runway, turn left again, and then turn left and land. So do a big square.
So most times when we see like commercial jets sitting in their flight patterns, where you'll obviously
Those ones are always flying to a towered airport. So they have someone saying, you're doing this, you're
Okay.
flying this way. They almost never will fly to an untowered airport. Almost
right.
never.
Okay. So, but their flight patterns.
And then
still,
you guys never mix, right? Like, there's no
No.
chance you're landing
So-
anywhere
Yeah,
near.
not even close.
so I guess
commercial
my
airport.
question
Yeah.
is: so are they gonna go? Are they lined up directly to land, or are they gonna come in at those?
They
different
will
angles?
usually fly in at a certain, so all commercial jets, pretty much all commercial jets will fly the instrument way, not
Okay.
the VFR way.
All right.
The instrument approach for landings are a little bit different. That one, there is some cases where, yes, they will fly straight in. So like you were saying with Logan, you see the constant flow of airplanes
Yeah.
coming
Constant.
in over the ocean.
Yeah.
That's because about, I don't know, 20 miles out over the ocean.
Right, they're getting in the pattern.
From there,
Correct.
yeah, at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
altitude, much higher than where I would be. And then they're already basically on a slope down with
Right.
controller being like, yep, you're good to land. So they, in certain cases,
Yeah,
yes,
you're good
they
to
will
land.
fly
There's
straight in.
11 in front of you.
I can see it when I'm
Yeah.
like fishing on
Yeah.
the rocks in Marshfield. I see, my God, there might be 8. I can see
Yeah.
at night 8 lights.
Yeah.
And then, and they're just flowing in.
Yep.
But
and they're just
at,
dropping altitude the whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're lined up for something.
They already
like,
lined
I don't
up.
know.
Yep, they have
yeah.
the instrument flight
Yeah.
like approach. Yeah, they're already set up to
They
go.
almost like, I feel like they get into that thing and just let go.
Yeah.
And let the instruments land the plane at that point.
Even
Like,
some small like propeller planes, like the newer one, not necessarily like there's other companies. There's like companies called like Diamond or Cirrus is a really nice one. They're like the Mercedes of small planes. Those planes, my flight instructor makes fun of Cirrus pilots because he's like, basically they take off, get 500 feet off the ground, and they hit a button, and the plane will fly. This little plane will fly itself wherever you need to go, and then you say where you want to go, and it'll set you all up and get you in the pattern and everything. You hit a button, then you
take
just
a
take
nap,
over and
the
then you
alarm
land.
goes off, like, wake up, land the
Basically,
plane. Yeah.
Whereas like when I'm flying, I think it's 3 of the 4 planes have autopilot. Even smaller planes, they have autopilot. I've never flown with autopilot, and for good reason. I mean, I'm still learning and figuring it out. But
Yeah.
a lot of them, you hit a button, does what you want it to do. And yeah, a lot of them will fly for yourself, like especially commercial planes, like those ones. You're right. Yeah.
How many solo flights have you done at this point?
I think I've done like 7 or 8.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So now your first one, you said you didn't necessarily know.
Yeah, so the first solo I ever did was just take off at the airport, fly the traffic pattern, and land
At the same airport.
at the same airport.
Yep. That's Nashua.
And actually, do it 3 times.
How long of a flight was that?
So me flying by myself, it was quite literally like
And were you
20
rock hard
minutes.
the entire time?
What'd you say? How
Like,
long?
Just
like
fucking
20 minutes.
pointing
Yeah,
straight up.
It wasn't super
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
That's another crazy thing. You were asking about like cruising, like how fast these planes go. So obviously more higher horsepower planes can fly faster in the air. Wind is great because if you have wind at your back, your
And the
airspeed.
smaller the plane, the bigger the difference that makes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge. So the plane that I fly, the fastest that I've gone cruising in my plane was probably like 125 miles an hour. There are certain speeds that you're not allowed, or not, you can't safely fly if you hit them. Like if it's windy out, like really bumpy and windy, you do not want to go over 140 miles an hour because that can cause structural problems for the plane. Anything like 170.
What gets you flight? Like, what gets the plane off the ground? 60, 70? Like,
60.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is 60. Every plane is a little different depending on
Yeah, weight
their
and
wings,
size. Yeah,
wings,
exactly.
yep, weight,
Yeah,
all that. So yeah, mine takes off about 60. If you have the flaps, because they have the flaps on the back of the wings, those actually help you get up in the air a little bit easier at a slower speed. With the flaps all the way down, I think it can get up at like 55 miles an hour.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
You're
So-
driving down the highway and I pull the flaps. The car's like, whoop.
Yep, comes
Off
right
the
up.
ground.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's cool is like whenever you're planning a cross country, if you have the wind at your back, that will kind of determine how quickly you'll get to your destination. So like when I flew to Sanford, that was my first actual like solo cross-country flight was to Maine.
They consider that cross country.
Yes, 50 miles from your home airport. So,
All right.
yeah, you have to fly more than 50 miles to an airport and then more than 50 miles back.
Okay.
Only to that first solo, you get a little thing in your logbook, an endorsement, and the instructor says, Collin can only fly to Sanford, Maine on this date, at this time, whatever, in these weather
For the
conditions.
solo flights.
For the solo flights in this airplane.
Yep.
Like no passengers, no night, none of that.
Yep.
So when I flew to Sanford, that first solo cross country to Sanford was, I think it was in March. And I was really lucky because I had the wind at my back. So in the sky, the airspeed was probably like 121 miles an hour, but the ground speed, because I have a ground speed as well, the ground speed was like almost 140 miles an hour because the wind's blowing you.
Yeah.
So it helps you kind of move along. So, 7 or 8 cross countries. They require a certain number of
Are
solo
those all
time.
Sanford or kind of different ones?
Different ones. So the next cross country that I did was by myself was it was to Portland. So Portland, Maine. It's a little bit bigger of an airport.
Yep.
And that one's similar to the Manchester one that you had up. That one has commercial planes flying out of it.
Yeah.
So I flew there. But the best one,
Hi guys, please don't kill me. I'm
literally,
trying
yeah.
to get in here.
So the best cross country, the longest, then you have a long cross country flight. And that one was my favorite because that one is basically, rather than just do one flight 50 miles, you have to do 3 flights 50 miles. So you fly 50 miles to one airport, fly 50 miles to a completely different airport, and then fly 50 miles back. So
Back
a
to your home
triangle.
airport.
Yeah, to do a big triangle.
Yep.
So that flight, that long cross country, so 150 miles, that one was from Nashua to Portland, over to Lebanon, New Hampshire, which is basically the Vermont border,
Yeah.
and then back to
That
Nashua.
used to be the ski stop when we were growing up north.
So these solo flights, you're still in training and you're by yourself completely.
Yep.
No one else in the cockpit, no
That's it.
passengers.
Yep, they
nothing.
sign you off.
That's wild.
Yeah, before they even let you solo, they so I have my flight instructor. There's 3 flight instructors with the school. What they would do is they would make you take like a proficiency test. It was like, here's 50 questions. Try to answer the questions, and we'll see how safe you are, essentially. So I did the 50 questions. There was a couple things I had to fix and whatever, and went over it with my instructor and did it all over again from scratch. And then finally, the owner of the flight school was like, yep, he's good to solo. And then it was up to my instructor when he wanted to let me solo.
Yeah.
But before I actually did solo, my instructor had me get in the plane with the owner of the flight school, who I had never really flown with before,
Yeah.
to kind of judge how I'm doing flying. And it's funny because my instructor, he's in his 40s. He's very nice. He's very tough love. So he used to be in the military. He's a little tough love sometimes, but he means well. The owner of the flight school has years of experience, like been doing this forever. He's very gentle and like a very good teacher, but he's like super nitpicky sometimes with every little thing,
Yeah.
which is great, which is really good. And I think that's a good way to
It's
be.
good to have 2 sides there.
Exactly.
It's
Right?
almost
Also, I
it's
feel
almost
like
good to hear feedback
if you're
from
gonna
those
be
2 different
nitpicky-
teaching styles.
Yeah.
Flying a plane would be where you should be nitpicky. Like,
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah. 100%. So when I flew with the owner of the flight school, it was the coldest day of the year. They actually put the plane in a hangar for me because it had ice on it. And you're not supposed to have ice on the wings because
Yeah.
it can be really unsafe. So it was cool. I got to pre-flight the plane and hangar with everybody's jets next to me. I was like, this is crazy. Like these other planes around me, and it was warm. It was nice. And we opened the big hangar doors. The sun was coming up. It was awesome. I was super stoked to fly with the owner of the school.
Yeah.
And I was also nervous because I'm like, well, John, the owner, he's very nitpicky. Like, how is this going to go? I have no idea. And when we got up in the air, it was so calm. There was snow out.
Was it just you two, or was
just
your
me.
instructor too?
Just me and John, the owner. So just me and the owner of the school. And he's like, all right, do this thing, do that thing. We actually stall the airplane to learn how to stall the airplane to kind of make it kind of sink.
Yeah.
Short.
That's when you're like
In the air?
turning
in
the
air,
motor
yeah.
off.
Not even turning the
Midair?
motor off.
No.
What you'll do is you'll put your flaps down so you can
Yep.
make the airspeed slow way down, so the plane will fly very slowly.
Yep.
And then
Turn
they
it into a
basi-
glider.
They basically want you to be able to take the power out of to basically make the engine go to idle, pull the nose up so you lose all the lift, and
Yep.
then the nose of the plane will kind of just sink, and you'll feel the whole thing kind of sink.
Yeah.
And the first time we ever had to do stalling, I was like kind of anticipating. I was like, this is gonna be really scary. And I told my instructor, I was like, I'm a little nervous about this. He's like, it's gonna be fine. He's like, it's honestly like a roller coaster. He's like, but the key thing why they want you to learn be able to how to do a stall for a plane is how to recover from a stall.
Okay.
So when you stall a plane, there's no lift happening. You're basically falling.
Yeah.
Briefly. So yeah, you basically the nose drops, and then you kind of let the controls come forward a little bit, feed all the power back in, and then let the nose will naturally come back up, and then you're flying again. Really quick.
You're already moving in a forward motion, so the momentum of that,
Yep.
in conjunction with the power of the engine, will pull you back up.
Exactly. Yep. So you're
And you need to feel it. If you didn't feel that, you wouldn't know what to do if it happened.
Exactly.
you
And
know?
stalls will usually happen when people are trying to land because you're already going really slow.
Yeah.
And if you go too slow, you won't have enough lift and the plane will drop. And so when you're landing, you're basically simulating you're landing at a really high altitude. And if you stall while you're landing, what do you immediately want to do? You
Pull up or something, or yeah.
let the nose come just a little bit forward, full power, and then kind of let it come back up really quick. You got to be really quick. So yeah, they call it reduce the angle of attack of the plane, full power, and then you then
Holy shit.
take your flaps out a little bit at a time.
I remember whenever we were watching like air shows or something, that was like the big thing. They would like shut the plane off midair.
let
Like,
it kind of
yeah.
do all that.
Yeah.
We haven't edited. We don't do that.
It's a little more dramatic, I think, than what they're trying to do.
Yeah, we don't do that. But
That is a real world oh shit situation.
When we were at Roots Classic this year in Wildwood, and the weekend we were there, this is the first time this has happened in all the years I've been there. There was an air show at the beach.
Oh, that's
Oh, no shit.
So we're like just walking around the town, and there's just like these crazy fighters just doing like barrel rolls and bullshit right over our heads.
So-
yeah,
One of the questions from one of our former previous guests
yeah.
was, have you ever barrel rolled a plane?
absolutely not. No.
No way.
I have not. There are some planes actually at the airport that are aerobatic airplanes, and they're crazy. Like it's funny. It's like these older dudes that are retired that just built
That's
this
their
in
hobby.
garage. That's their thing. And dude, they're so loud.
There's something broken inside you, right? So if you retire, you're like, all right, what I want to do is I take a plane and I want to
Dude, look at Jesse. Jesse from Benchworks just bought a plane.
Don't even want to talk
Wow.
about
Yeah, he bought. He,
Yeah, I remember he did. And
I
was he
think.
trying to-
I think it's a Cessna.
it's a Cessna. Yeah, and I don't know if
It's like,
he was
I'm
trying
rebuilding
to,
in my garage and I'm going to fly it.
It's a big
Why?
endeavor to
You
make
have
a
no
plane
business
aerobatic.
touching this plane.
Yeah,
He's driven it around on the ground. I don't know if he's flown it yet.
who knows? Yeah.
I don't even know if he has a pilot's
That would be
license.
so cool if he could fly that.
This is what happens. You give Jesse a bunch of room
Yeah.
and a bunch of acreage at a place. He's going to do dumb shit with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are planes at the airport that are aerobatic planes, and like you'll see them take off.
But those I feel like their instruments, or not their instruments, but like say like when you pull the rudder moves like way faster. Like,
Yeah,
there's
everything's really
very
quick.
low increment.
Yeah, they're very light. They're very high horsepower. They're small. Every little input does a lot.
They're made for that.
Exactly. And when you see them take off, they like take off normally how we would.
and they
but
go straight up.
then they
Like,
literally go
what are you doing?
like way straight up,
Yeah.
and then they'll do like a quick turn over, and then kind of just cruise around the airport. None of them do barrel rolls. I think because we live in a city, and I think there are certain restrictions to that.
Yeah.
Really?
So aerobatic planes have a type rating as well. So I was talking about like 737s. You have to be approved to fly a 737, or
Yeah.
aerobatic planes. You have to be approved to fly aerobatic planes. What's funny is there's also a type rating for what's called high horsepower, and high horsepower in the plane world is anything over 200 horsepower.
Wow.
So you actually have to get 5 hours of training to fly or get
Approved.
to fly.
So that's
something
the
with 200.
base rating. Is the top rating like 500,000 horsepower, like the real?
Yeah,
planes?
there are a lot of like 6-cylinder planes. Those will be more like 300 horsepower.
Hmm.
Those are like the bigger 6-seater planes. Those are more for like really long cross country stuff.
That still seems like a really small plane to me.
Yeah. You would think.
I don't know, so you see the cockpits where the guys get in, and they've got 6 handles for their fingers.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and
for all the engines. And, yeah.
Because there's 6 motors
Yeah.
that have 1 billion horsepower.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we go to the moon, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let's go.
But now
Reminds me of
those like a plane like that it's not jets still, right?
No,
It's
they're
just
still propeller planes.
Still propeller planes.
So there are type ratings for turbine powered propeller planes. So there are planes that are piston powered like engines, and there are also turbine planes that have propellers. So the turbine drives the propeller on the front of the plane.
But it's still not a jet.
It's not a jet.
Yeah.
No, it's not a jet. A jet would be a plane that has a jet turbine providing thrust, not a propeller providing thrust.
And there are small planes that have that, right?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah, you got those like Amalfi jets or whatever, those
Honda-
like PJs or whatever.
Honda makes little jets. They're a lot of money. They're very expensive. They're more so like for chartering, but like people will buy them. There are people at the Nashua airport, like we'll see people fly their private jets in, and it's them flying, or they'll have someone like hire a charter company to fly in. It's just some of the things you see, like money wise, is pretty staggering. With like, there's one dude that
Like
flies
this little
up-
guy?
That's a Honda jet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably, I don't know, $4 million,
Cute little guy.
$3 million.
Good search, John. Did
Yeah.
Honda on the engine give it away?
Yeah.
Yeah,
420. No, I'm sorry.
great tail number. Great tail
420 Blaze.
Yeah. So yeah, the Honda jets are cool. Those are turbine powered, like jets. So you have to get certified to fly those.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to that. So like you're going for your license.
Mhm.
What does this initial license let you fly?
So it'll let me fly a single engine, piston powered propeller plane.
Okay.
So
Doesn't specify brand.
Under 200 horsepower. No specific.
So you could fly a Cessna, you could fly a Cherokee,
So
whatever.
how
yeah.
many more
How many-
layers
yeah.
are there to get to like that or like a
So
to commercial? I get commercials is different.
the way there's, I would say probably 4 layers. So there's private pilot, so visual private pilot, instrument pilot, multi-engine, commercial
multi-engines like propeller but on both wings.
wings. Yeah,
Yep.
multi-engine. So multi-engine, commercial. So you're allowed to fly.
With customers.
People paying you.
Yep. Even if it's a small plane with propellers still.
Yeah, commercial doesn't mean 747.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Commercial, that's basically like what that bullshit I flew on was.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a commercial. Those
Yeah.
2 girls were commercial pilots.
Yep. Yep.
They were type rated for multi-engine
Yep.
and commercially rated. So they have both those ratings.
Yeah. And probably the one that instrument rated, I imagine.
And instrument, yep.
Because
yep,
you're not going to fly customers if you can't fly on the range.
exactly.
Right.
And
I
every
hope.
single plane that flies over 18,000 feet has to be instrument rated.
Okay.
So they have to be an instrument rated flight.
Because you're in the clouds most of the time. at
Yeah,
that- at that
exactly.
height. Yeah.
So every commercial jet that you see taken out of Logan is going to be an instrument flight and rated and all that.
and I would hope so.
Yeah. The level above, I would say, commercial pilot would be certified flight instructor. Actually, it could be, you can consider it kind of tandem to the commercial. Usually commercial pilots, most of them will have multi-engine ratings. You don't necessarily need to have a multi-engine rating to be a commercial pilot. So you don't necessarily have to be able to fly planes with multiple engines. A lot of them do.
Yeah.
Most commercial pilots usually go to school for that, like school. So that was one thing. Like my school,
like college for that,
like a
pretty
college
much,
kind of
yeah.
school. So there's 2
You know, like
different-
Embry-Riddle
Exactly.
Aviation College or something.
Exactly
That's where my
right.
uncle went.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, there are 2 different kinds of schools with flight schools. There's, I think it's one of them's called Part 41, which is that is a structured school that you go 5 days a week into a classroom, 8 hours a day. They're like, end of the week, you're taking this test. We're moving on to this next thing the next week. Very structured. It's cheaper to do that, but it's basically like a college semester.
It's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Or what I'm doing is called a Part 61 school, which is as you go. So at your own pace, like I have a job, I have life. I can't do this every day.
Yeah, this isn't your only thing.
So Part 61 is tough because it's usually drawn out a lot longer and it usually is a lot more money. And that's usually the whole thing that people usually ask too, is the whole money side of things with flying.
Yeah.
So the way I approached it with
I mean,
money.
let's face it, it's not cheap to fly.
No, not at all.
Because you have to pay the fuel, you have to pay the
Yeah, everything,
all that
right?
stuff,
So
And this place still has to make a couple bucks after they
Exactly.
teach you.
Yep, exactly right. So the way the money side of things work is when Alice would take me on the introductory flight, after the intro flight, I had to really think about it. I was like, all right, I want to do this. That was freaking sick. Like, I want to do more of
Yeah.
that.
But I mean, this isn't like I'm going to go to do this hobby.
Yeah.
It's like
This
you have to
isn't a
really
Planet
budget for
Fitness,
this.
You have to budget.
subscription. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full commitment. And like, I'm at a year and 4 months now doing this, and I'm still not just there yet. And I'm getting there. I'm close.
Yeah.
But money-wise, when I first started out, I was like, all right, how do I budget this? And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take the cost of the plane per hour, the cost of the instructor per hour, put those together. So
Yeah.
that's my per hour cost
Yeah.
in general. Okay, well, how many hours do I need to legally become a private pilot? Well, the minimum is 40. So at this point right now, I have 73 hours of flying.
Yep.
So I'm well over the 40 limit. Right now, if I legally could get my pilot's license, I'm eligible. I'm over the age of 16. I have a valid driver's license.
You've
I've
gone over the 40 hours.
Yep, gone over 40 hours. I have a medical certificate. That's a whole thing. You need a
Yep.
certain kind of medical certificate. You get checked out by a doctor.
Yeah.
Make sure you're good. Don't have heart issues, whatever. All that. So everything right now, I legally can get the license, which is great. But the problem is with the kind of school that I'm flying, you can fly over 40 hours, but you still need to know all the material. And that's where the whole staying committed to it is. And like, you have to really discipline your time doing it.
Yeah.
Because when I was flying last winter, I was like, this is great. Like, I'm flying 3 days a week. I feel great. Like, I know what I'm doing. Well, there's still the ground portion of flying that you have to do. So the way you get your license, you take 3 tests. There's a written exam. There's an oral exam with an FAA person. So basically, they come to your airport.
And that's an outside person. Like, it's not like
No, yeah.
someone that works for your instructor.
Yeah, they work
don't
at
know
the
you
FAA.
from anybody.
They've
No.
never met me in my life.
Yeah.
They come from the FAA. I have to schedule them. They're very expensive. You have to pay for their time.
Yeah.
They sit down with you for an hour and a half. They have a book, the flying handbook. We call it the P-Hack. Flying handbook. They open the book and they'll point to something and be like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Or, oh, you have this emergency situation. What do you do? What
So
is?
you got to really study this stuff.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lot. It's like 2 years of college is what it's
Wow.
my brain's been kind of thinking of it
Yeah.
like that. So if I pass the oral exam, then that same day that I do the oral exam, I have to go out on the tarmac, get in the airplane, pre-flight everything with this person as my passenger.
With the FAA person?
With the FAA person, and that's called the check ride.
Wow.
So that's the kind of the real big one where you basically have a flight plan of if you were to fly far away, if you were to fly to Maine or whatever, and so you basically take off and they're like, all right, you're going to fly me to Maine, and you need to have certain points in your flight path to Maine that you're hitting. So, all right, I'm now over Rochester, New Hampshire, 6 minutes after I've taken off. So basically what that is that you are able to, on paper, calculate what your flight is going to look like for them. And in case everything in the plane fails, that you can still fly and get to where you need to go.
All right.
Worst case. So they just want to make sure that you're safe. And then once you get to usually like the second or third point in your path to where your final destination would be, they're like, all right, you'll terminate your flight plan. We're going to head back towards like a practice area,
Yep.
kind of over the mountains. They're like, all right, I want you to do a stall for me. How do we safely recover from a stall? How do you do a kind of steep turn? How do you navigate? Or if this fails, what's your emergency procedure if something fails? Like if you have a fire on the wingtips, or if the engine has a fire, like what are all these things that you need to do?
Eject OC, cuz.
We're going
You're
down.
getting out.
Literally, my next question was like, so what
You
are
get
these
the parachute,
emergencies
like,
they
see
try
ya,
to prepare
bud.
you for?
Yeah, so the biggest one and kind of the scariest one, the emergency procedures are kind of tricky. That's actually right now the thing that I struggle with most. I'm literally, like, you'll laugh at this. We have a checklist for different kinds of emergency procedures. If I'm on the toilet in the morning, I literally have this on my phone, just like, all right,
Yeah.
what happens in this? All right,
Yeah.
do I do all this right? It's like just drilling it in my head. The problem is you can't just drill it in your head. Like, you can get flustered very easily because so many things are going on and it's like life or death in those situations, and you need to kind of instinctively know like what to do. So like one example of emergency procedure is if we're below,
You just have to tell Alice when you're like out at dinner and be like, just scream in my face, the wing's on fire, what do we do? You know, just like
Exactly.
in completely random
Yeah.
situations.
just stress me out all the time. Yeah. So like one,
As soon as you're about to fall asleep,
yeah.
the tail fin's on fire, what do we do?
Exactly. Yeah, and my instructor, he's like very like, you need to have this right. Like you gotta know. You can't just read from or memorize a checklist. Like you need to know these situations. So, for example, like one quick one, if the engine starts to run rough and you're under 1,000 feet, you're kind of low.
Plug it into a scan tool, see what the check engine light is.
Yeah. Get your OBD2 scanner
Yeah.
out. It'll tell you. So he's
Oh,
like,
the fuel door is open. God
Yeah.
damn it.
yeah. Check engine lights on.
Fucking Volkswagens.
Yeah, he'll be like, well, what do we do? And I'm like, all right, well, if the engine's running rough, that carburetor might have ice on it. So what do? We have a thing that moves hot air to melt the ice on the carburetor.
What is it, like a valve that moves hot air from the engine?
Around the muffler. So muffler has like a heat
okay.
thing around it, and
Yeah.
it has hot air around it, and so it can direct over the carb to melt the ice in the carb. If the roughness,
So is it like a manual bellow that opens when you push a lever
yeah,
or
it's
something?
a little up and down lever, and you can feel
Yep.
it's got resistance in it. So
It's
yeah,
the heat channels in the bug.
Yeah.
You pull those little levers.
that's
what I mean.
actually
Like it's
very
physically
similar.
a manual
It's
bellow.
just
Yeah.
like old Porsches or the Beetle heat channel, like you
Yeah.
said. just like that.
That's exactly what they did. They took
That was how you got heat.
the secondary layer from the exhaust and piped it into the car.
That's why all the cars.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's why all
No
the cars
carbon
rot from the
monoxide,
inside out because
There
of
you
all
go.
the condensation.
Yeah, just stuck in there, right? All the heat shield, all that rots out. So yeah, he's if you still have roughness and you have the carb heat is on and you're melting that ice, well, there might be something wrong with fuel. So if you're on your right tank of fuel, you'd switch to the left tank of fuel.
Yep.
Does it go away? Okay, well, no. Well, one thing, and we were saying, when you start a plane, it's cold out, rather than have a choke, you actually pump a primer to kind of get fuel like you would with the lawnmower or whatever. Sometimes the primer has a lock on it. Sometimes the primers don't, if someone doesn't check it, like you're supposed to go through a checklist. And if the primer isn't locked, it'll actually let fuel weep into the carburetor, and it can be way too rich, and it can actually be really rough.
So it could be like almost flooded.
Flooded way too much. So you have to make sure your primer's locked. So you're like, oh, my primer's not locked. So you make sure it's in and locked, and then you can kind of lean out your fuel to kind of burn off. So you're not still
Burn off the excess
the
of what's
excess.
in the carburetor.
And yeah, and usually that you'll have there are different things you can do to kind of fix the roughness. Now, all of that at the same time,
Yeah.
you
it's a
have to
lot.
still want to try to land. You
Yeah.
want to tell air traffic control you have some roughness. There was one flight actually last fall where I was in the pattern with my instructor, and we saw this guy in a Cessna took off, and he was kind of climbing pretty slow.
Yeah.
And you could hear him on the radio. He's like, calls the tower, and he's like,
So all the other planes around him hear him.
you can hear him. Yep.
Yep.
So he's like, oh, I'm having roughness. Like, something's not right. Like, can I come back and land? And they're like, yeah, sure thing. And there are other people in the pattern. So they're like, everyone in the pattern, like, just kind of extend yourself out. Like,
Yeah.
give this guy some room. So yeah, he's coming up, and then he just does a little whoop and comes right back down and landed fine. And I don't know what ended up happening, why there was that, but like, while you're coming back, it depends on the situation you are. If you're at a low altitude, the point is you want to get safely on the ground.
Yeah.
If you're at a higher altitude and you have some space and time, you want to try to fix the situation first.
Even if you're like, running rough or stalling, like if you're at a higher altitude, you have like a level of
Yes.
space that you can, essentially use it as a glider.
Literally. So when I did that first flight, the introductory flight, and I was freaking out up in the air, the one thing that the instructor said to me that kind of, even in that moment, like kind of made me calm a little bit down. He's like, even though it's bumpy and like kind of jolting around, he's like, the plane is not going to fall out of the sky.
Yeah,
He's like, you
like-
can let go of everything. It's still going to fly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like a paper airplane.
Right.
at that
Literally
point.
like a plane. You got miles. You
Yeah.
can go for miles. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So obviously you need to know, like you said, that pilot you could hear on the radio being
Yeah.
like, hey, things aren't right here. We
Yeah.
need to come down. He didn't know what was right, but he just felt
He didn't know
something
the solution, but he's
So-
like, something's not right. I gotta land.
So
Yeah.
you like with me when I have a boat and stuff, like I am fucking on that shit. I know
Every time.
seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, something's not right
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
So same deal with you.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like something's not right. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
We're coming down.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
First thing is, where am I? Well, I'm really low. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to try to get to a safe landing site.
Yeah.
If I have some space, I'm going to still want to try to land out the runway. I'm not going to go crash the plane on 495, but like,
Now, at that point, do you have you had a situation? I guess that's the next question. Have you had a situation where the plane wasn't right? You couldn't correct it in the air?
no.
No,
The
that's
planes
good.
are so well maintained.
They're
Yeah.
well maintained, and it seems like there's so many backups in place already.
Yeah.
Like you have a secondary everything.
Yeah,
So can you
there
take
is.
us through the steps of your inspection? Like I assume you're responsible for inspecting the plane before you take off.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
how's that? What is that?
Yeah.
What does
so-
that run?
So that inspection, the pre-flight inspection, you have a checklist, but I've done it hundreds of times now. I could do it in my sleep, but they still are like, you have to have the checklist with you to make sure you don't forget something, because people do forget
Sure,
things.
for sure.
So what you
Well,
do,
forgetting is not the problem. It's complacency that's the problem.
yeah, be like, oh, it's fine.
If
Right.
you've been a pilot for 20 years and you're walking into the same plane every day, I don't need to check the oil today. I checked the oil yesterday. And it's like,
Exactly
well, you know
right.
what? It fucking leaked on the ground last night.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. That's where most accidents are going to happen, is complacency.
Yep.
Like there was one accident I think that happened this summer. It was a Cirrus, so the Mercedes of the planes.
Yeah.
They're very modern, fuel injected. They have a friggin' parachute in them. There's a little handle in the ceiling in
The whole plane has a
the
parachute.
whole plane. You can look it up. There's a whole parachute for the Cirrus airplane that
Let
will
me
get you
pull it
on the
up.
ground. So if you look up Cirrus like SR-22 parachute, it's the funniest looking thing.
You have to be an idiot to crash one of those.
Yeah, it's like everything that. Well, sadly, there was a crash, and it was because the
Says
plane.
the guy who won't jump out of a plane with a parachute.
I know, yeah. There was a crash this summer that a Cirrus crashed because there was issues with the guy had issues of fuel delivery, and he didn't switch his fuel tank, and he ended up running out of fuel.
Shut the fuck
He didn't switch it to the parachute tank?
Yeah, the parachute tank. Yeah, so it's like stuff like that. It's
How
like
does it not automatically deploy this?
that's the Cirrus parachute.
Shut the fuck up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Those planes are so cool.
It seems like something that should have been.
It seems like
40
a
years
standard,
ago.
you
Like,
know?
Yeah, make parachutes. You could drop tanks out of
All
a
right,
fucking
just for
aircraft
fun
carrier,
here.
whatever.
So no parachute. Things aren't going well. This plane is dropping. What's the speed it's dropping at?
So it depends on the airplane. So my airplane.
175 feet per second per second.
No, it's usually your airspeed is 80 miles an hour. You want to
Okay.
be at 80 miles an hour because 80 miles an hour is there. And I was saying earlier, there's different speeds for different things. There's a too fast speed. There's a too slow speed. There's a maximum speed with your flaps down. There's a maximum speed in bumpy air. Like there's a speed with landing with no flaps. Like all these things.
Yeah.
That the speed, we call it the glide speed. So if everything quits, you want to immediately, first thing in your list, if everything dies out and you're like, all right, I gotta fucking land, first thing you do is you pitch the airplane because you have no power. If you pitch the airplane, so if you put your nose down, the plane will speed up. If you pull the nose back, like pull the nose up, it'll actually slow down.
Yeah.
So what you do is you immediately
So you want to slow it down.
you want to slow it to 80 and you want to keep it locked in at 80.
Okay.
And what 80 is, what's special about 80 with my airplane is that gives you the most range out of that glide speed. So with no power whatsoever.
Because if you're going less than 80, you're going to start falling down.
Correctly. Yep, exactly. Yep. Hurtling to the ground. Or yeah, if you're too fast, hurtling to the ground. If you're too slow, you could stall the plane. And then you're in really big trouble. If you stall the plane with no engine, that's a bad time.
Yeah.
So
Then,
80
then you're falling tail first, essentially.
no, you'll still fall nose first,
Okay.
but trying to get out of a stall with no
But
power
you're
is
just
really
going
hard.
straight down at that
Hard
point.
or impossible?
You can do it. You can definitely do it.
With what? Magic? With
gonna
hopes
tell
and
you,
dreams?
he's gonna tell
yeah.
The plane will have no lift to it.
Yeah.
So you stall, the nose drops, you have no lift to it, and immediately when the nose drops, the plane's airspeed is actually going to come back up. So if you kind of keep it, unfortunately, pointed at the ground,
Yeah.
that airspeed is going to then come up to over 60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then you'll be
yeah.
able to fly again. But you have to be careful because if you get to the 60 miles an hour and you're pointed at the ground, if you pull up, your speed's going to slow back down again. So you're going to do this thing where the plane's going to drop and then speed up, drop, speed up, drop, speed up, over and over.
okay.
So the thing with 80 miles an hour is if your engine quits, you immediately pitch for the 80 miles an hour. So then at that point, while you're locked in 80 miles an hour, you're already looking around like, is there a field nearby? Like an
where
open
can I
road?
put this thing down?
Where can I safely put this thing down? And
Yeah.
so you find a field, and we've done this before too. Like sometimes I'll be out over like Wachusett area or like Mount
Your instructor
Nana.
will be like, where can we land this right now?
Literally, he'll pull the power on me, not cut the engine, but he'll like pull it back to idle. He's
Yeah.
like, we have no engine right now. Like, what do we do? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Here we go. So
We're not going to die.
yeah, immediately, first thing, instinctively, well, I got to pitch for that 80 miles an hour.
Ejecto seat, cuz.
Yeah, we're getting out.
Calling the wife. Not going to make it. Not going to make it home for dinner.
Yeah. So yeah, immediately you pitch for that 80. While you're pitching for that 80, then you're looking for a safe place. Find a field. Next thing is, all right, well, if the engine's out, let's try to restart it while we have a little bit of time left in the air. We'll switch our fuel tanks, make sure our electric fuel pump is on. Everything's all set up, ready to
And
go.
there's that like our cycle procedure where you turn everything off and then turn it back on
No,
again?
you don't need to do that. You try to start the engine, so bump the starter
Yep.
on the motor. If it's windmilling, if the propeller's spinning, you don't need a starter. You can actually, you have what's called magnetos, where
Pop start it.
kind of, yes. So magnetos.
Idea of pop starting because the
already
propeller's still
starting.
Oh, it's
Yep.
turning.
Yeah.
So you try each magneto. You have two magnetos. Magnetos are what fire your spark plugs.
Okay.
So magnetos are kind of like coils, but they're kind of like a distributor.
Yep.
That's kind of the way to think of them. But you check each one. If you can get some set, either one set of spark plugs to fire, you got a little bit of power.
Yeah.
That's great. Then you got a little more time to
Even if
build
it's
in.
misfiring, it's
If
still
it's-
giving you something.
You still got something. And my instructor was very adamant about that. He's like, because before we even go up in the air, he's like, all right, read to me all the emergency procedures. Like, what do we do? And so on the ground. And what I always mess up with in the wording of their checklist is like, if you have power loss or roughness, those are two completely different things. So if you have power loss, you're going to do one whole set of things to kind of try to get the engine back running.
A
or
roughness
stay
is more just like a misfire, right?
It's like a misfire. You have not a lot of power. You
Yeah.
might not be able to stay level in the air. You might slowly start to come down, not aggressively, but slowly.
Yeah.
So there are different procedures for those. But yeah, if that propeller's windmilling, you can try to pop start it with a magneto because you have 2, or set both. So all 8 spark plugs. So one magneto is for the set of 4 spark plugs, and another magneto is for the other set of 4 spark plugs.
Okay.
And then when the key is on both, it's for all 8 to fire at the same time.
Yep.
If you can get it started from that, you're good. You'll have a little more time to fly somewhere to kind of land a little safer. If you try to use the magnetos to start the engine and it doesn't start, that's when you're like, oh shit, okay, we're not gonna be able to start. We fully commit. First thing is commit to my landing site, but also want to prevent a fire from happening when we hit the ground. And try to hit the ground soft. So you'll shut off all your fuel stuff.
Yep.
And also in certain situations, you'll turn off all the battery power so you don't have an electrical fire if you crash. So, and then at that point, you've committed to your landing site. You'll make sure the door is unlatched because of like what I said earlier, where that guy landed and he couldn't get the door to work. If you crash, the frame could be tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, you want to unlatch.
You want to be able to get out. Right?
Exactly.
Make sure the door is unlatched, just popped a little bit, that your seatbelts are nice and tight.
Yep.
And that you slowly deploy all the flaps. So you have 3 different angles of your flaps.
Yeah.
You want them as far down as you can get, far deployed as you can get, because the flaps, when you actually touch down, there's a very likely chance that if you're landing in a field, you could hit hard enough that the landing gear could kind of collapse.
Yeah.
Or if the landing gear does collapse, the flaps will kind of help cushion your landing a little bit, and you can kind of just slide, like belly slide on the ground.
Yeah.
And then you get out. So there's like videos out there, like actually at Lime Rock.
Yeah, watched at Lime Rock.
Yeah.
My question was, based on that, when you see something like that, do you immediately start Googling to see what happened?
Actually, no, because I don't like to, because I don't want to try to fearmonger myself. I already have enough like reality check that these things do happen.
Yeah.
What I like to see is those landings and see what the pilot did in that scenario. So the Lime Rock landing, I think they all survived.
Yeah,
because
I'm pretty sure.
You can see him. He was very nice and slow.
Is there video of it? I didn't see
There
the
is a video
of
of it, and he was nice and slow.
Did you guys hear about this? Lime Rock
And
racetrack.
he had plenty of space available for the race, like at the racetrack facility. And he was able to come in slow enough. Everything was all committed. Everything was shut off. And he was able to kind of ease it down on the grass and then kind of skid it off to the side, and everyone was able to get out. That's the key thing. When you're landing and doing emergency landing, you want to be able to land slow enough that you're not going to kill people or yourselves in the plane.
Yep.
Because as Jeremy Clarkson said, it's not going fast that kills you. It's suddenly becoming stationary.
At the end. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's committed. He's trying to line himself up.
Yeah, and it was like a track day. There was cars there.
Yep, there was cars there. Yeah, he was able to touch down on the brakes. His flaps are fully deployed. You can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything ended up okay. Those kinds of things I like to see because emergencies do happen, and it's nice to see that people were able to do the right things to
You
safely
only
land.
generally hear about the ones that go horribly wrong.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Not the multitude that might not be perfect, but
Yeah.
everyone like worked it out.
The ones that I don't like to see are like when, like earlier this year, like when there was all like those plane accidents that were happening. That was like the news cycle. I feel like
Oh, it was
They
wild, right?
they happen all the time, but it's like I didn't like that they're trying to like blame air traffic controllers. That's not air traffic controllers' fault.
No.
In most cases, there was the case at Washington D.C. when that helicopter hit the passenger. That was really awful and sad because that was just the helicopter. I think it was
the military one. Right?
Yeah.
It sounded like that from the reports, and I followed this pilot on social media, and he thinks it was the helicopter misread
exactly.
what he was told.
Yeah.
Because there was another plane in the area. He's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. And then there's terminology
Yep.
that makes them take care of the situation, and
Yeah.
they fucked up.
It's really sad because that had to happen, but now, so his landing gear front wheel collapsed, but
But it's like, you look at that plane, like,
it's fine.
looks
Hey.
pretty good shape,
Yeah.
all
Yeah, I
things
know.
considered.
Yeah.
They
you
walked
know?
away.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's good. Anyone that survives
If
a
I
plane
look out of
crash-
there, I'm gonna take it too.
And now that's a single engine Cessna, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. That's like what Jesse has.
Yep.
So
For a hobby, for fun. So
Because that's what
he's
we
driving
do for
that around
fun.
the
We build
neighborhood.
planes and fly them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to make
Oh, an RC plane? No, I'm gonna be in it.
a real deal. Yeah, to make a plane airworthy is a lot of work. It's a lot of money, a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too. Is like where I wanted to go with this is like I honestly, if once I get the license and I can go for getting instrument rated and all that, I don't actually think I want to own my own plane. I think I want to join. They have flight clubs. There's actually plenty up near us in Nashua where people. It's actually better because you buy a share of a plane, kind of like a timeshare.
Yeah.
And you spread out the costs of insurance, maintenance, all that among other people who are all proficient. And it's good because just like a car, I wouldn't want my airplane sitting for weeks and weeks, not being flown. You want it to be used. You want stuff to be picked up, like you want to be able to have it being used and that stuff. So I think the ultimate goal was to, once I can get all this, kind of get more time and then start to look for flight clubs to be able to buy into getting an airplane.
Yeah,
would be
nice.
sweet. So,
And now with the flight club, it's like, what would be the idea? Like if you wanted to, fly somewhere for the day, you could and leave it there, or is it more so just like, the leisure is the flying part?
yeah, the leisure is the flying part. So with flight clubs, from what I understand, I think it's literally very similar to like a timeshare where it's like, I want to fly the plane down to Florida and I'm going to need it for a week. And everyone else is like, all right, cool. Just book the week on the calendar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's how we do with the flight school stuff. All the 4 planes.
So like if you wanted to go somewhere on vacation,
Yep.
On the East Coast, like you could take the plane.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I like that. And it's a lot cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
Like anyone can save up and buy, I mean, shouldn't say anyone, but like you can save up and buy a plane, but then it's like the continuous maintenance cost.
Yeah.
So that Cirrus with the parachute that you saw,
Yeah.
every 10 years, that parachute has to get taken out and repacked up, and it's 10 grand to do it for that maintenance. Right along the parachute repack for those.
Just looking.
Do they have a parachute delete?
Just
You know, it's
look.
funny. I want to say I've heard of people doing that, but
Yeah.
I don't think they have.
So
Yeah.
where like I'm looking at where it's fastened,
Mm-hmm.
to the front end here and to the rear.
Yep.
Where is that compacted in? Do you know?
So you see the little yellow spot by his tail?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It gets all packed in there.
No shit.
So yeah, then when it gets deployed, it kind of goes back and then up, and then it keeps the plane in the
So
air a
you
little
seeing these restraints like normally on the plane?
No. They're
get
all
what I'm
hidden under
saying?
cladding. They're all hidden.
Unbelievable.
So when you pull the latch, it releases all the cladding on the outside
Wow,
of the plane.
crazy.
Everything
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So
Now what's do you know the success rate of like a plane needing
I
to
think
use that?
I think every single Cirrus, take it with a grain of salt. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
there's ever been a fatality with a Cirrus with the parachute being deployed.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
I don't think so. Don't quote me, but I don't.
No,
think
no,
there's
that's
ever
okay.
been.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
just curious. I have no idea. So
But
whatever
it's like
you tell
that
me.
kind of stuff. It's like modern tech. It's
Yeah.
safe, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure. Wow.
The modern stuff's really expensive. Like that plane, you probably saw. That plane's probably.
I'm actually surprised every 10 years is like, we got to redo this every 10.
every 10. Yeah.
Because I think like just like
enough.
lifeboats
Yeah.
on commercial vessels is like every year, every
Yeah.
2 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
You wonder with like skydivers, like
Yeah.
obviously they're repacking
Yeah.
parachutes every day. But if a parachute doesn't get used for a certain amount of time, I'm sure they unpack it and then repack it up. Just make sure it deploys
That's the
right.
fear.
Drag
That's the
racing
fear.
too. I mean, you got to make sure you pack parachutes for drag racing
Right.
properly.
Right.
All that. But yeah, that plane, that Cirrus, they're so expensive. So that plane's probably
Oh, there you go, Joe. Look at you.
Oh, yeah, it has a little rocket motor. Okay, so that's what gets it out.
Wow.
Yep, comes up, pack parachute, and then it deploys.
Yeah.
Yep, they're cool.
All right, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, what are your restraints?
It's just like a seatbelt in the car.
Just it?
3-point seatbelt.
Right over.
Yep,
That's it.
Yep, same deal. So they have a
All right.
lap belt, and then you have one behind you, and the
And you
one
come
behind
across.
you clips onto the lap belt. Some planes have like harnesses, like the aerobatic planes we were talking about. Those have more like racing harnesses to keep you from.
I always
falling.
find it interesting. The pilots and everyone, they're all secure nicely,
Yeah.
and then we're just like, oh, you just buckle this in, and if you don't know, just pay attention to me. It's like,
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's it, huh?
Also, so we're up there. You can just walk around the cabin, like no problem.
yeah, no big deal.
It's like, yeah, we got a life vest, and you got to throw a pillow underneath. You'll be fine.
You're good.
You'll be fine.
Duck and cover if you need. Yeah. Those planes are
Survival rate's good. You'll be
So has Alice flown with you besides that first flight?
actually no.
No.
No, she hasn't. So, it's funny. So right before I go for the check ride,
I was like, can she go? Could she go to
not-
like one of your lessons?
so I actually asked my instructor this. I was like, will she be able to come with us before I do the check ride? And he's like, we probably will have her come with us because one of the things with the check ride that I have to do is like a weight and balance calculation for the plane.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
So if she comes with us, it's unfortunate. Sometimes
Don't you get that weight wrong, son.
that's it, right?
You better
Yeah.
fucking
You,
get it
you
right.
have to ask everybody's weight.
Yep.
Be like, all right, how much baggage do you have? How much does the baggage weigh?
Yep.
Where is everything going?
Yep.
So she would probably, when we flew
you
the
fuck
intro
up, boy?
flight, yeah, worst question ever. When we flew
How
the
much do
intro
you
flight,
weigh?
yeah.
I'm sleeping in the doghouse. But yes, how much do you
Please
weigh?
tell me so we can get safely. Yeah,
It's like you're writing it down. You're like, how much you weigh? It's like, I live with you.
yeah.
Like, knock it off.
We're married.
This is for your life.
Yeah.
We're married.
Stop making shit up.
So you gotta be able to calculate all that and be able to move people around. So that's kind of the thing. And like, I have a friend out in.
I'll sit in the middle. I know.
Yeah.
A fat kid in the back. I get it.
It's funny. Usually they'll do like you'll have like the lighter person on the front right. You could have a heavier person in back. Like you really want to kind of plan where people go. It's funny. One of the things I really want to do is I have a friend that lives out in like the Rochester area, New York, and he builds Miata engines.
Yep.
And he has a truck and trailer, and he always has to drive back and forth between here and Maine and all that. And he's like, dude, you could load an engine block in the back of the plane.
That'd be sweet.
He's like, we have the airport like 5 minutes from now. He's like, I'll be able to donate money to your fuel fund because I can't be paid for it. But he's like, I can buy you dinner or whatever. And if you can transport engines back and forth. But it's like, to do that, I would need a pretty big plane.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these planes, like that Cirrus, I think the maximum weight in people, baggage, everything that it can take, I think is like 1,200 pounds, which doesn't sound like a lot.
That's not a lot.
When you think of like 4 adult males, say that's 800 pounds right there.
Holy
900 pounds.
shit.
Yeah, so you're really close, and you need still a little bit of wiggle room too.
Yeah.
So like my plane, I think the max weight that my plane that I fly can take, I think is like 750 pounds.
Yeah.
But the higher horsepower planes, they can usually take a little bit more. So like if you're gonna if I get the pilot's license and or when I get the pilot's license and I want to take Alice somewhere, I'll probably fly the bigger plane.
Yeah.
Because she might want to bring
Her
luggage or
luggage.
clothes or whatever, and it's just more comfortable.
A toothbrush and some underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, we're too overweight. You have to throw the sunscreen away.
Yeah. No
because-
sunscreen. We'll buy it when we get there.
Yeah, exactly. So
Your bra's gonna go. Sorry.
yeah,
I don't know why that's the
Yeah.
thing, but it's gonna go.
it's a real shame. We don't need
Yeah,
that. We don't need
terrible.
that. Yep, we don't need that.
Man.
So yeah.
So that's crazy. So the next step
Fascinating.
is I feel like I could talk about this
Holy
forever.
shit.
So the next step, once you get your license, is to find a club, essentially.
Yeah, flying club. And even beyond that, so I even thought further that there's actually 2 more other things that I want to do. I also want to get instrument rated so I can fly in weather. I don't want multi-engine. I don't care about being commercially rated. And I don't want to be a flight instructor.
Yeah.
Initially, when I started, I was like, yeah, I'll be a flight instructor. And then seeing all the stuff that my instructor
That
goes
seems
through,
like a bunch of bullshit.
you got to be really patient. And I think the flight instructor test,
That's the worst part. I was like, why are you fucking stupid?
The flight-
Why
yeah.
can't you get this right?
you got to be
Yeah.
really patient. It's there's
Like
so
Buck
much
being
patience.
a teacher.
Yeah.
We've crossed that path.
The flight instructor test is really hard. Like the FAA person could just mess with the plane and really bother you. Yeah. So that I don't need to necessarily do. But ultimately, what I want to do when I retire, or even before when I retire, wanted to join the flight club. But also, there's the Civil Air Patrol. So they are a branch of the Air Force, and what they kind of do is they do they'll do like take Boy Scouts up in the air, or like my flight instructor, he works for the Civil Air Patrol. He'll do fire patrols up in Vermont and Maine.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
So,
cool. Yeah.
and he was stoked when he did fire patrols. He landed. I saw him the next day. He's like, "Dude, I found a fire." He's like, "I put out a fire. Like, helped them put out a
That's
fire."
really cool.
So he's
That's
like,
awesome.
does those kind of things, or like it's more so like search and rescue.
Yeah.
Like if someone's stranded way up in Maine.
So you'll kind of be like a volunteer on call.
volunteer.
that's cool.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
good because you don't have to pay for the plane because
Yep.
it's the Air Force's plane.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, come on out.
Yep.
We need people to go check out this area."
Exactly. Or and you get flight time. You can
Yep.
build more time and experience, which is great. So my instructor, he
Do they track all that time, even after you're licensed?
Yes,
Yep.
always. Yep. So we have logbooks, paper
I was just
logbooks.
gonna say, yeah.
The 4Flight app on my phone or my iPad that has a thing that can track your hours. I haven't set it up yet to do all that, but right now everything's just written in a book.
Yep.
So I have a question for
Does,
you.
does it also track how many times you play Highway to the Danger Zone?
No. Yeah.
Untrackable. Yeah.
So we've brought up the Air Force stuff. So I don't know if you know this. You might not. But with commercial jet pilots, I know some of them are former like Air Force pilots, Navy pilots.
Yep.
Now, is their accreditation through the military good for what they're doing, like commercial flights?
So
do you know that?
No. So the reason why you see a lot of former Navy and former Air Force as commercial pilots is because they have the hours. So airlines will not hire someone unless they have less, or will only hire someone minimum if they have 1,500 hours of flight time. And most people that have flown the Air Force and Navy have well over that. Yeah. So my old landlord, as an example, he works as an air traffic controller, but he is now out of the Air Force. He's been out for 3 or 4 years. He used to go fly fuel missions in Antarctica for bases in Antarctica for the Air Force. Cool. And he built a shitload of flight time doing that. And when I went to go see him a couple months ago and found out he was out of the Air Force, I was like, you're going to retire in 10 years. Like, what's after that? He's like, I'm going to go fly commercial because I have all the hours. I have the experience. He's like, I can just jump right in. The tough thing is with the airlines is after COVID, when everyone was going back to traveling, they had a huge surge in pilots. They hired a ton of pilots, which is great. But then things kind of settled back down, and now they had too many pilots. So now there's kind of a hiring freeze right now. They're not really hiring pilots, even if you have over 1,500 hours. So my instructor right now at this moment, he's in a cadet program with Frontier Airlines. Yep. He's in their school. It's not really a school, but he's basically in line to go work at Frontier. He's already done interviews. Apprentice, essentially. He's kind of an apprentice. Yeah, he's basically waiting for them to call him and be like, all right, you're going to do the training thing for 737 over this amount of months or whatever. So he's just kind of cruising, building his time, training students, doing the Civil Air Patrol stuff. And then his eventual goal is to be the commercial 737 pilot.
Interesting. Sweet. Yeah, so, I'm curious about that.
So yeah, he's doing a lot of that. But I wanted to do Civil Air Patrol to build some time, get experience, to kind of get in that world. But then also, one thing I'd like to do either before retirement, maybe right after I retire, is I don't know if you see on like Instagram or whatever, you'll see pilots will fly like shelter animals from the south up to like animal shelters up here.
I just saw that today.
Actually, I really want to do that. So I want that plane filled with kittens.
A plane full of dogs.
Yeah. I
kittens
or dogs. Yeah, I want all that. Or even like the life flights. Like you'll fly organs to hospitals.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. That's cool.
I would love to do that stuff.
Wow.
Oh, so I guess that's another question I had. You have the commercial pilot's license, or you have pilots or pilots. Helicopters.
Yeah. So
where does that fit in?
Helicopters are stupid. Who cares?
You know what's funny?
They got the wiggle sticks and things are going sideways. Like, what's happening?
Helicopters are pretty sick.
They're pretty sick.
I would love to fly helicopters.
Is that completely different?
It's a completely different
school.
Your
dogs?
No, that's Beagle Freedom Project. So this organization pulls beagles out of animal testing labs. And this particular story they had,
dude, I love that.
Literally, like everybody, beagles are the most commonly tested dog because they're forgiving. They're forgiving and they're not aggressive.
Oh wow!
So you can literally abuse them over and over again, and that's why.
Why do you say helicopters are stupid?
I don't like them.
So you don't have a reason?
That don't make sense.
There's also a stigma with
the technology. Just doesn't make sense to me. It's like if a bird flies into that thing, it's just falling out of the sky.
It. Yeah.
Have you seen what happens with planes and birds hit them?
Did you ever see the Sully movie? That's exactly what
I know.
Right.
I don't like helicopters.
It's actually, you asked earlier, has there ever been any like real emergency? There was on hand, I think 3 or 4 times where I almost flew into a bird.
Really?
And Alice, I think, is listening to this. But yeah, actually, you asked about Lawrence as well. When I flew back from Lawrence, I took off. It was still early morning. I had my instructor with me. I'm not kidding you. There was one of those helium little kid balloons just floated on by, right at eye level. I was like, holy shit, just boom, right by. I was like, holy shit.
And there was a crack needle just hanging underneath.
Yeah, that guy, if that gets caught in the propeller, that'd be a bad time. But like birds, that's a real issue. I mean, the propeller is solid steel. Like it's the bird's going to become
it'll
pink,
probably chop.
pink mist
Yeah.
pretty
It's
quick.
mush, but if the mush gets in the engine,
In
then
the
we're
engine,
fucked.
yeah, that can be bad. But like,
If
there
it's a
were-
big bird, it
yeah,
could be a problem.
There was one of the times we were flying in our like practice area and whatever, and I could see there was a small flock of birds. We were probably like,
That's the thing. Like birds fly in big groups sometimes.
yeah, I like veered away. My instructor's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, there's fucking birds right there."
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not flying into the birds. He's like, "Oh, okay, good. Like,
Yeah.
it's good you saw it because he didn't see them."
Yeah.
There was one time I was landing and there was birds flying across the runway, and they were kind of just they were turkeys. Like they were
Yeah.
they were
Pretty
other-
low.
Yeah, they were just chilling there, and fortunately they got out of the way. Like if there was a situation where I'm landing and I see a turkey on the runway, I'm just gonna full power and kind of go around.
Yeah.
Just go back up.
Drive through it.
Yeah, drive. Yeah, yeah. Turkey dinner, nice
Yeah,
and early.
exactly.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. So animals become a real thing too. Like we've seen. I personally haven't seen like deer. Even though there's a fence around the whole airport, deer can get in.
Yeah.
My instructor said he's seen bobcat, coyote.
yeah.
We've seen coyote on the runway. When I landed one time, there was turkeys kind of just chilling right next to the runway. So I just called the tower and be like, "Hey, there's turkeys right by the taxiway over here." And they're like, "All right, cool." And
Like, fuck it, run them over.
yeah, she would call out to everyone, "Hey, just be careful, there's turkeys," and they'll
Yeah.
just let people know. But yeah, that stuff like that is a real thing, like birds. But yeah, if a bird hits the propeller's not going to blow apart. It'll blow the bird apart, but you probably will want to land at that point. That'll probably be very unsafe.
Now, that's a great question. With a helicopter, is it a
Yeah.
completely different license?
Different license, different rating, everything. It's its own kind of thing. And
Do you have to have a pilot's license to fly a helicopter?
No, you can get. I think you can get it separate. I think.
Okay.
I think you can get it separate completely. But it's nice because I think if to get rated for a helicopter and become licensed for a helicopter, it helps to already have the private pilot's license because you already have everything situated.
Yep.
You know the weather. You know how to do the weather stuff.
Yeah, you
and all
have to have the weather anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah, so you already know how to do all the air traffic control stuff. But yeah, the thing with helicopters, and I see the reels on Instagram about this, is where helicopters go wrong. In a helicopter, you never take off vertically. You take off kind of going forward.
Yep.
Because that forward
Yeah,
momentum,
like,
forward momentum, if you're moving forward and the engine quits, that momentum, you can actually pitch up really fast and softly land back on the ground.
I believe they
if
call
you
it
go vertically,
auto-rotate.
yeah,
It's just gonna
it
fall
auto-rotate,
vertically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you go vertical and you lose your engine, you're gonna literally just fall to the ground and die like that.
Yeah,
that
which is
a
what
bad
they usually do.
yeah. So like, I don't know if you guys ever watched like Cletus McFarlane's channel or
Yeah.
is funny because his YouTube channel kind of got me like, all right, this is kind of sick. I want to kind of keep going at this because if he can do it, I can do it. He was big and he's very big into the helicopter stuff, and he actually had a video where
Do you want to fly helicopters?
I'd like to try if I can afford it.
I want to ride in a helicopter so fucking bad.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a video on like how to auto rotate if the engine cuts out. Like, what do we do? And it was cool. He would like pitch the helicopter up really quick, and it would just kind of slowly. The inertia of the blades was slowly getting back on the ground, and he would just skid on the ground, just slide, ski slide on the ground. So, but yeah, I'd like to eventually fly helicopters.
Josh Garcia became friends with a guy who was a helicopter mechanic, I want to say,
Okay.
out of the Norwood Airport, and he did some flights with him into Boston and New York City and stuff,
Oh, that's so
Nice.
cool.
and it had some like amazing photos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that for you, not for me.
I want to be in. I want to take a helicopter ride. Very.
I'd love to go. I'd love to do one around like the volcanoes in Hawaii, like
that'd
something
be
like that,
so
where it's
cool.
like that's be the only way to see it
Yeah.
properly, you know.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
But other than that, I'm kind of all set with it.
So yeah,
scared
helicopters
of
are
them.
cool. Planes
Yeah.
are cool. It's a lot of work and a lot of money. Oh yeah, the money side of things. So like people always are like, well, how expensive is it? So instructor time, plane time, fuel's included. Get that per hour. Minimum 40 hours. I'm well beyond that. No one ever gets their license in 40 hours. Usually people get their license between 60 and 70 hours on average. Some people get way longer because they might need to take their time or financial something comes up. For example, like
Or
this-
they have the flight time, but they're just not ready for that
Exactly.
FAA test.
Exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I don't want to say I got screwed, but the weather in April to June was awful. It was like every weekend. It was every single
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
It was either
So much
raining, too windy, like the
It rained
clouds
for
were
like
too low.
15 weekends straight.
So I didn't fly for like 2 months. And it was funny because I was supposed to do that long cross country to Maine and Lebanon
Yeah.
immediately after that. And my instructor's like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, hell no. I'm like, I got to do more,
Yeah.
kind of get back into the rhythm of things and do stuff here, and then I'll be ready to do the long. And he's like, that's a
Yeah.
good judgment. So I didn't fly for 2 months, so that kind of put me back a little bit. And the part that makes flying expensive is if you're not consistent. Like, it's bad to say, but like flying once a week is kind of not enough. You kind of have to fly more than that. And if you are flying once a week, they say for every hour in the air that you're flying, you need to spend 4 hours on the ground studying stuff.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of commitment to that too. And it's literally homework. Like, I also say, like, the last 2 weeks, every day when I come home from work, I'm exhausted, and I'll usually get home at like 4 o'clock. I'm on my computer from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock taking practice tests for the written stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing where I'm struggling, having to rewatch videos on the ground school stuff, because there is a ground school separate from my flight school that you pay. It's like a one-time fee. It's like a couple $100. It basically covers all the knowledge, the theory side of flying.
Yep.
And that's where the written exam is. So that ground school that you pay that one-time fee, you have for life, and they basically just teach you how to pass.
And that's just like a library of videos that you can access.
Library
whenever.
videos. And so I've been taking the practice exams, and the ground school, they're great. They're called, there's a bunch of different ones, but this one was called the Pilot Institute. They're based out of Arizona, but I take them obviously here. And I've been taking all the practice exams. They're different chapters. You take the practice exams for all the chapters. You have to get an 80% or higher on one chapter to move on to the next. By the end of all the chapters, you have to then take 2 mock written exams and get over 80%. Once you pass those and you get over the 80%, you then email the Pilot Institute Flights ground school. You're like, hey, I've passed. Can you endorse me to take the real exam? And they basically have to sign off for you to take the real exam. So
Yeah,
it's
so
not
you
that
can't even attempt the real exam until they sign off for you.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at right now. And that's why,
So have they signed off for you?
no, so that's why I'm in a weird spot right now. So
Yep.
I have enough hours, but my instructor told me a month ago, he's like, don't worry so much about flying in the air. He's like, you still, if you can afford it, fly maybe once a week
Yep.
to keep yourself kind of confident
Mm-hmm.
and fluid with actual flying. But he's like, right now, your main focus is pass that written exam. He's like, all of your time needs to be ground school stuff and passing the written exam.
Yep.
So that's what I've been doing every day, 2 hours a day after work, when I can on weekends. Tomorrow, I have tomorrow off. So most of tomorrow is going to be oil changes,
Yep.
housework, feeding animals, sweeping,
Studying.
laundry, all that, and then tests.
Yeah.
And just doing that over and over and over again, and just trying to be consistent, because when I initially started all this and I was budgeting, so I budgeted for 70 hours. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to budget an amount that I'll take for 70 hours. So at the time it was 15 grand.
Yeah.
And what was tough with that is, because of the way the world is, everything got a little more expensive. So fuel got more expensive.
So that's more like 18 grand now.
It's like 20.
Ugh.
So I'm a little short. So that's why right now the studying for tests and stuff doesn't cost me anything. So that's why I'm like cranking right
Yeah.
now to do all that and get
Yeah,
that
you've
out of
already
the way.
paid this one-time fee for this.
Exactly.
ground school.
It was $250 for the
Yep.
ground school thing, which is
That's
great.
nice.
And it's really helpful. And if like anyone ever wants to get into flying to save a lot of money, usually they recommend do all the ground school stuff, then take the written, and then do real flying with a real school
Yep.
after that. The problem is with the written and the tests and the ground school stuff, the motivation isn't really there.
Yeah.
If you're not actually flying an airplane, it's really hard to stay motivated to do all the ground stuff.
I can see that.
Whereas, like I said, like, all right, I'll fly Saturday morning. Well, then the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to focus on taking tests, kind of just do it all in that one day, and then
Yep.
work week, tests all week. So yeah, so I budgeted 15 grand. It's about 20 because the cost of the plane rental's gone up. And it probably could be more, because then there's other costs that they don't tell you about, like the headset. You don't have to buy a headset. They have headsets for the plane, but they're not great. I have one that's like a nice one that's noise canceling.
Yeah.
Bought that on Marketplace. It was like $600. That headset brand new was like $1,400. They're really expensive. And then the FAA person for the actual exam,
Yep.
their time to go up in the air with me and fly with me and test me, that's about $800 to $1,000 right there for their
Yeah,
time.
just for that one
Yeah.
visit.
So that's a huge cost right there.
And it's like you don't want to spend that money if you're not ready to pass it.
Exactly. Like the iPad, that stuff.
Yep.
Like the books, the materials, like all that stuff. Like it all kind of adds up.
Yeah.
So
you got to really want to do it.
You got to really, really want to do it. And I do really want to do it. So it's like I'm so far into it. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're pretty committed now.
I got to fully be into this. After I take the check ride and hopefully get the private pilot's license, I'll probably take a little bit of time to kind of recoup.
Yeah.
And then and I'll do flights here and there to keep proficient.
Yeah.
Then once I can come up with more money, then I'll work on the instrument.
The club thing
Yeah.
and stuff.
Or
Oh,
the
the
club
instrument
thing.
one. Yeah.
It's funny, the club thing I think will actually be a lot cheaper than doing the instrument thing.
Yeah.
So my instructor told me the instrument side of things is usually pretty not quick, but like you
Compared to what you're doing now.
exactly. Yeah, it's like you start going from walking to running.
Yeah.
And then like the instrument one would be going from like running to sprinting or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I have all the basis there, and then yeah, eventually I want to do the instrument, and then yeah, get into a club, fly, be proficient. Travel. That was another thing. It's like I would love to go up to like Bethel, Maine to go get brunch in
Yeah.
the morning and like do that. Sanford, that airport in Maine, they have a really cool little diner there. And
Yeah. Cassie got tattooed in Sanford.
love Sanford.
Yeah. We drove up there. We actually stayed in Portsmouth, New Hampshire
Yep.
after
Great
that.
spot. We love
Yep.
Portsmouth. Yeah.
But yeah, because we were looking around Sanford. I'm like, there's not really cool to stay here. Let's just drive to Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Have you flown at night?
I have. So that's actually an requirement too. And actually, night flying is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was a little freaked out at first, but then we are there. You have to have, I think it's 5 hours of night flight in order to get legally allowed to get the license. But yes, I've flown at night. That was the time when I flew through the Boston airspace. So I flew from Nashua down to Taunton. And I had never been to Taunton before. So prior to the whole flight,
Terrible place.
yeah, great. Yeah, Taunton, Mass. So prior to that whole flight, I had to know what runways the airport, what basically everything in detail about that airport, the radio frequencies, the
That's
runways.
probably the closest airport to my house.
was Taunton. Is Taunton?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Bridgewater doesn't have a.
Mansfield's not
No.
close to you?
Mansfield's pretty close.
Carver.
Yeah, Mansfield I pass on my way to work every day.
Yeah.
Carver.
But Taunton's probably the closest. Is there Carver?
Carver's
There's New
a-
Bedford.
yeah.
Carver has an airport. I
Yeah.
know that. Mansfield was a big one. That was the one. That airport was the very first place. I had a friend in middle school. His dad had a plane. He actually had the parachute plane, the Cirrus plane. He had one of those. He took us up flying out of Mansfield.
Out of Mansfield.
Years ago. This was like literally probably 20 years ago. And,
Yeah, I pass the Mansfield one on my way to work every day, and then I pass the Norwood one a lot when I'm.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh,
Norwood.
yeah, Norwood, yeah.
Yeah, Mansfield does not have a tower.
Yeah, Norwood has a lot of the
There's no
like
way
news
Taunton has a
planes.
tower.
Taunton does not have
I
a
was
tower.
going to say, there's
Hey,
no
Joan,
way.
can I land?
New Bedford, I think, has a tower.
I think New Bedford does. Pawtucket. I've flown into Pawtucket.
Yep.
I love that airport. That's a good one. Taunton, I flew to at night through the Boston airspace. That was a little freaky.
Where the fuck is the Pawtucket Airport?
Or not Pawtucket. What is it? Is it Pawtucket? No, not Woonsocket.
Probably Pawtucket.
Is it Pawtucket? I mean, you can look it up. But yeah, I think, Pawtucket, I think. North Central, I think is what it's called.
I do a lot of work in Pawtucket. I've never seen an airport.
What town is that? Rhode Island. I did fly to Rhode Island.
North Central
I'm not-
Airport.
I'm not doubting you. I just
Smithfield.
Smithfield.
Is it Smithfield? Okay.
Yeah, North Central Airport is in Smithfield,
Yeah.
Rhode
Yep,
Island.
that's it. Yep, flew into that airport. That's a nice little one, untowered airport. Yeah, night flying's cool. Lot of twinkly lights. You have no real reference to the horizon.
Did it look like this?
That's exactly it.
Yep.
Nice little airport. But yeah, flew through Boston airspace at night it was like a Tuesday or end of the week. It was a not busy day. But what's funny is when you fly through Boston airspace, basically take off from Nashua.
I'm coming here. Please don't shoot me.
You connect to the Boston people. They have to approve you to connect to the Boston people. You connect to the Boston people. Basically from there, they basically every couple little stints, they'll hand you off to a new air traffic controller. So made my way all the way through the Boston airspace, and you're hearing all the Delta flights and the JetBlues and
That's
all
a lot.
those. There's a lot going on, and they talk so fast. And like when you fly through like a heavy airspace like Boston, you have to be really quick and short with what you say.
Yeah, they don't want to hear you yapping.
They don't care. They're like, I just want to get to the next guy. They don't want to hear you yapping. And that was a mistake. My instructor at night, he's like, you need to talk a lot faster and shorter.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they don't care. Like, you just need to be quick.
Hi, I'm Collin. I grew up in Mass, but I live in New Hampshire now, and I'm flying a plane. Like, and you're already gone. You're done.
I'm flying. This is the first time flying at night. I'm going.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. You're going home.
I never knew what Taunton looked like. I always assumed it was just you landing on fucking grass. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's got
even
a little
kidding.
paved runway.
Wow, not bad.
Yeah, it's cool. What's freaky about night flying is when you come into land, you see the runway. Oh, actually, this is a really cool thing. All runways, most runways, have lighting along the runway.
Yeah.
That lighting is dimmable by me in my airplane.
By you?
By
Oh,
me.
that's cool.
And it's super cool. The first time I saw this, my instructor was like, check this out. This is pretty sweet. And what you do is you connect to the radio frequency for all around Taunton.
Yep.
And he's like, if you click your radio button 7 times, that makes it as bright as possible. If you click it 5 times, it dims it. 3 times, it dims it more.
Whoa.
So there's different light settings. It is the coolest
That's rad.
thing.
Will that dim my LED smart patio lights at my house?
Dude,
Now you're getting out of hand.
it didn't make sense to me why. Like, I was like, this is the coolest thing
I don't
ever.
even think I want to know why. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's there so, like, if you're landing, you don't get blasted by lights because, like, you ever be driving down, like, the road and you have some high, like, really bright truck and then coming at you or whatever, and then he goes by and then you can't see anything?
Yeah.
Well, that can happen with planes, too. And they tell you, like, if you're flying at night, you never want to look directly at lights. You always want to look in your peripherals or, like, off-center for things. And, like, if you're trying to look in the cabin at things, we'll have, like, a red headlamp, like what you see with, like, police officers or military will have.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's easy on your eyes, and you can look back out and see everything outside.
Okay.
But when you're approaching at night and you're going to land on a runway, you have the light in the front of the plane, and then you have also really bright, they're kind of like high, they're called recognition lights. They're like high beams. They're on the wings.
Okay.
They're always on. The landing light is always on. And you're coming in, and all of a sudden just runway's there. Because it's black, 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 and then just runway.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to
So those lights come up quick.
They come up quick. But fortunately, Taunton was lit. The lighting around Taunton was on the outer edge of the runway. It's not down the middle.
Yep.
So the lights on your airplane that are your high beams and your landing light, that is lighting the runway in front of you as you're landing.
Yep.
So and it comes up quick. So and then you kind of touch down and whatever. So night flying is cool. There's a lot of like your perception's kind of off when you're flying at night.
Yep.
Like you can't really see clouds very well at night. So you got to kind of be aware of that. But yeah, I did that night flight, and then I think I did a couple. They require, I think it's like 10 takeoffs, 10 landings at night at my home airport.
Oh, wow.
So over the summer, this was like June-ish, we had to wait till the sun to go down. It was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I can't get up in the air until 30 minutes after the sun goes down to be considered night.
After sunset.
Yep, after sunset. So then I'll do my takeoffs and landings to basically check a box for my legal requirement. So I want to fly more at night to kind of keep that proficiency up. And when I do, I'm definitely going to do more with the instructor. There's still certain things like I'll be able to do stuff on my own, but still certain things where I'm like, I don't feel super comfortable. I'm just going to take him with me to kind of make sure
so
I'm doing
you
stuff
can,
right.
and once you have your license, you can essentially choose, like, I'm choosing to pay my instructor to join me at this point.
Yep, we're kind of bonded forever.
Yep.
And what's cool is when he was going to try to work for Frontier, I was like, dude, like, you're leaving. Like, what the hell? Like, it's going to suck. I'm going to find a new instructor. He's like, no, I don't. He's like, a lot of airlines will commute pilots from other places to their home base.
That's cool.
So he obviously doesn't pay for anything. He'll commute down to Boston or Manchester, whatever. And then from Boston, he hops on a flight like any other person, takes him to Philly.
Yeah.
And then he starts his workday, flying airplanes from Philly to wherever.
Yep.
Comes home back to Philly, flies to Boston, hops in his car, goes home for the night.
That's awesome.
So, and you do like 3 shifts, and then you're good for that stint.
That's
so
good.
It's kind of like as needed. So it's cool. So I'll still have the same instructor even when he's working for airlines.
Yeah.
If he chooses to continue to be a flight instructor, at that point he might be like, you know what, I don't want to be really an instructor anymore. I just want to focus on commercial stuff. But I don't necessarily see that happening. And if that happens, like there are other great instructors that we have at the school and in the area. So
good.
Yeah. So
pretty cool stuff, man.
A lot of things.
Fascinating. Very unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Endless.
A lot of shit to know. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of things that I expected and that didn't turn out to be what I expected. Like when I first started flying with the instructor, I thought it was like, oh, flight simulator, use all the instruments in the plane. He's like, no, don't even care about those. Look outside.
Yeah, don't
What's
worry
the
about
plane
that crap.
doing outside?
What's outside? I don't know.
Are we pointed straight? Like that's key. Is the plane crabbing to the side? Like what direction are we going? All these different things. So keep in mind. So, but yeah, a lot of fun. I want to do the volunteer stuff. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
that sounds really neat. I didn't even know
I like
about
that.
that.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I love animals, so I'd love to do that stuff with them. So
And there's so many organizations that need things like that. And there's so much weird state legislation with bringing animals in.
yeah,
So,
like for like diseases and shots and
but a lot of it's just like lobbying by breeders too.
yeah.
So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the big organizations that we've adopted dogs from. We actually had them on the show. They bring a lot of dogs from like Tennessee, Alabama,
Yeah.
and they can only bring them to Connecticut
Oh, wow.
because Rhode Island and Mass, a lot of breeders in those states have lobbied. You know, they use the guise of like, oh, these dogs are diseased, and so they like don't let them in the state. But at the end of the day, it's like it's just to make it harder to adopt dogs. So it's like when we adopted Memphis, we had to drive to Mohegan to pick her up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's as far as this transport's allowed to drive.
Newest puppy was from New York area.
No, that puppy is actually Cassie really wanted a border collie.
Yep.
And I was like, cool, if we're getting a border collie, I want a boy and I want blue merle as the color.
Yeah.
So she found a breeder in Indiana that bred those dogs specifically. She was a vet, and the bloodline of the parents is really good, and she plans to do agility training and
Yeah, I love that.
all the things with him.
Love that.
So
Yeah.
yep. So she did a lot of research on it. I won't take credit for that.
Yeah.
She can answer those questions better than me, but
Yeah.
she found a very specific breeder for that specific dog and went out to Indiana. So she went out there.
Indiana, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, she went out there in October, and her and her friend took a long weekend, made the drive out. It was like I think 17 hours from us.
Yeah.
So it was a journey.
Love that.
Yep. So here we are, dog number 4. Crazy. Well, Collin, I think I'm overwhelmed. It's a lot of information.
That was a lot.
That was awesome.
We
Are
did
you
it.
fucking kidding? That was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
This is a lot
Yeah,
of
I
fun.
appreciate
Great to
it,
be
man.
here.
Yeah, and we'd love to have you on again
Yeah,
sometime
I'd love that. I'd love
later, and we can talk more about where you've gone with this.
Yeah. Anytime.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Later.
Bye bye.